regular.
No, just during the recording. Okay. Just to record your part. If they're only like a 10 minutes.
Just to record you.
Literally, it's just gonna point at you the whole time. And then later I'll be like, the best 7 faces.
And everybody gets to choose.
That's not a bad idea.
Series, like.
And you get to public speak too.
Oh, man. When they start cutting and pasting. Like that. One commercial where Vogue's cutting out and it's like, show up
Oh,
to
yeah.
the costume party.
When you go in, you'll see, but where all the tables are, there's a light, there's a light switch goes in.
That's what they are.
I don't know how much I needed. Two that was out of throw them away.
And then this is somebody's asking some questions about a wedding that took place in 1893. Maybe you can answer it?
Oh, no, you're so nice to me.
Yeah.
Freddie, oh, Freddie. What? No,
I don't know who to give that to or how to get them their
you
answer.
know what, probably the museum, but you know what, oh, Windsor,
Well, you know what? Yeah,
Oh,
the museum
Chris,
would
you
be
got
nice.
some
yeah, they
stuff.
would.
In a very odd. You had a baseball cap on back? Or,
The other
I was
thing-
golfing all weekend.
it's like got a circle.
Yeah, and I had a
Has a
snapback, you
record
know,
of
I didn't
Oh.
think about that.
How's it going? What is it they're asking for?
I'm glad that I've never gone through anything like that before.
Chris, turn around so he can see.
Maybe a little later.
No, I just say, I'm glad I can't really.
Yeah.
I was wondering, I think I got like sun put my
Unfortunately,
my
never seen.
skin was all like smoked.
I have no idea what that is.
We want to know if somebody has interest in the, getting the photo.
Oh, thanks.
It's very vague, but that's what.
So I'll get that.
Thank you, sir.
To the museum. Okay.
We're going for the.
Is it Austin?
Yes.
Awesome.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I think that's.
Here we go.
Jackie, she didn't have the answer. She didn't have the answer.
I thought it was Fred and Edith Black or something, but
She made a bad face at me when I asked you that.
you know, I think you're 1 year older than I am. No,
The
the
party's
bar's
This one?
older.
Barry's older than me, but I think I might be older than you.
I mean, I know I texted him, but I'm worried if I text him while he's trying to call him.
You know, I can just call him real quick and see.
Then if you can.
I told you that.
You called me when I was calling.
Well, I'm still walking, so I'm okay.
Once you get about 60, it don't matter.
You get you on there, phone call.
Yeah. Well, I was looking for one of those.
Oh,
What I've
All
been.
right,
thank you.
Okay.
I brought my own pop. Thank you.
I'm okay. This is just like store bought. It isn't like, they bring us like.
No, it's just enough.
Thank you. I got it.
It's a 15.
15.
Is it really the 15?
I loaded up.
Yes,
It's
there's
on my
one.
computer.
It's all right.
Do we wait a little while for the Barry or?
He's not here, he's in Denver.
Well, Sean just called him. Yeah, so I would ask Sean, what did, you just talk to Devari?
Yeah, he's trying to join the call, so.
To be up on there.
Sean,
Well, he's just.
do you know if this ES endpoint security is still
Is he okay?
And,
Just say
yeah,
it's
his-
normal.
his family.
Well, I have
This
been,
time.
and I'm just wondering if I should not
Just
just.
hoping it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
His family.
Okay, so don't update it or worry about it at the moment.
I don't know what it is
It's
actually.
that, he's gotta get the thing to work with other.
Told him to stand
Oh,
up.
he knows about it.
I handed
I
that.
told that again. The computer hasn't been able to do anything. I just got it unlocked.
Go to the work session.
You have your flashlight on, Jason.
Thank you. It's really, it's just one of those type. You have to sleep thinking because it's all okay until it's not, and we have. Because it is,
Why don't we,
it is, there's some gray areas there. And, yeah.
I think it's something right now.
But they can get paid to haul it out. But, yeah, to my degree, they hauled up.
Wake up, wake up.
It is, it's,
Action.
it just needs work.
Well, it's action now.
I could argue both sides. Yeah, somebody'd have to listen to all the different sides and really think about it. Cause it's, yeah, it is. Shall we go or?
6, yeah.
All right, I'll call this workshop to order at 6:35. There's only one thing on the agenda, and that is to talk about proclamations and such like that. The reason I wanted to, there's several reasons I asked for the workshop. One was another councilman, Aaron, brought up the subject, and it's been on all of our minds. We've all talked about it before. I just think we need to come up with a good method for the proclamation type process so that when you get up and read one, it starts with on behalf of the governing body knows about it and we agree about it. We've had, I can't remember how many proclamations this year, but we're setting a record.
We have 11 so far.
11 so
And there's a
far.
couple pending right now. Not for tonight's meeting, but for the following meeting.
And some of them are well warranted and much needed, and some of them aren't, but still, nonetheless, when it's brought before us, we need to be able to look at it, vote on it, maybe make it better, bring it at the proper time, such like that. So I'm just wondering what everybody thinks about how we should do that. Councilman Durst, do you have any ideas?
Well,
You're staring
yes,
at me like you do.
One of the ones that I definitely push this. I don't know, I mean, from my point of view, it's not so much that I have a method that I am demanding, really is just the opportunity to have that communication before a proclamation is put forward. So whether it's that they come to a quick workshop before, just to say, hey, we'd like to do this. I'm not sure, I don't know if it has to be an official motion thing, that if it could just go on an email on the vaccines and just say, we would like to do this proclamation. Any objections? Hearing none, we'll assume the governing body is comfortable with it. I'm not sure exactly where we have to fall as far as, I guess my biggest issue is just that exact simple statement is that I'm not arguing the proclamations themselves. That's not the issue. My issue is just that they're coming forward on behalf of the governing body, and the governing body has no idea that it's coming forward until the night of the meeting.
And I've felt that on several occasions, and I'm not against any of them or for,
Right, this isn't about the proclamations, this is about the process.
What and I've thought about this a little bit, and I just wonder if it wouldn't be a good idea to, if they're coming, and we know they're coming, maybe put it at a workshop before the meeting so we can discuss it and we can all say, yeah, we'd like that, or no, or we improve it somehow, or whatever. And then put it on the next meeting. I don't, how's everybody feel about that?
Some of them are on a time limit, though, like if it's Public Works Week, they are supposed to be approved in that time.
But wouldn't they know it the week before, or 2 weeks before, or something like that?
Very.
Or what?
Kind of sneaks up on you, though. I know. There's
Well,
something
what
comes and I'm
process-
like, oh, yeah.
I just don't want us being on email you know, saying, yeah, let's do it, and then taking an action.
Well, and I get that.
Gary, Mayor? I mean, traditionally, we have allowed the clerk to be the reciprocal of anything that goes on the agenda. And then you come in and you sort through that, and you're the one that can say what goes on the agenda. And that's where we get those proclamations, is in our packet, supposedly. Now, I don't want to do anything that would cut the public off from coming to us for proclamations. Now, sometimes there's proclamations that maybe we don't want to have to, I mean, the language isn't suitable for us, or maybe it needs tweaked a little bit. So if we kind of put it back to the clerk desk where you go in and review those things and let us know about them, and I'm comfortable with that.
Yeah, but what might be really not objectionable to me or objectionable to me might not be to you.
If
Or
it's
you,
coming
or
out
you,
with
or
the-
you, or you, you know what I'm saying?
If it's coming out with the packet, then we're reviewing those before we get them, before we hit this desk here.
Well, but if I hear what you're saying, so Thursday, or let's say Friday night, the agenda gets released and there's a proclamation, so we have all weekend, it's still on the agenda as on behalf of the governing body, that again, the governing body didn't even discuss.
But let me throw something at you. Anything that crosses the body, this desk, is the governing body. Once it's signed, it is the governing body. That's the way I look at it.
Well, but a proclamation doesn't come with any opportunity for discussion or anything. It
No, it
just gets
doesn't.
proclaimed that on behalf of the governing body, that the governing body didn't talk or discuss. So again, this isn't about the proclamations, it's just the process to get them out.
But if-
So we're not trying to take it from the public, they can put one forward, it would come to the mayor, he would say, okay, put it on the workshop, and then we could have it for the meeting 2 weeks following.
But if it goes to a workshop, then we're delaying it. Proclamations. really
I
don't
just
wanna work.
am not comfortable, honestly. There's been a couple of them in the past that I wasn't really comfortable with, and I don't think anybody was, and I think we might have changed the language. You might have
We could have.
not read it, actually, on the one I can think of.
I think you're right. Probably someone we did.
You know, I just would like to have some sort of a method where we all approve it and then we move forward.
I agree.
Some form of,
And I believe Debari joined.
yes, Debari, all
Hello?
righty. We're talking about this proclamation workshop, Debari, about trying to figure out how to get council consensus before the proclamation is read on our behalf, I guess, is the way to put it. Is that correct?
That's fair.
Oh, okay. I just don't know if we can send out an email saying, does everybody agree with this? I just don't think that's legal.
Well, can you
I
say
think-
if there's any objections, reach out? You know what I mean? 'Cause that to me isn't, you're not voting on it.
Amy, that's a question for you.
I'm sorry, what was that?
So we have this proclamation, let's say, and it gets sent out with the thing saying, does anybody have any objections to this or changes they want? But if you say objections, that could be changes they want. But if we refine it through email, that's not really legal, is it?
So you don't want to have a threaded discussion where it looks like you're conducting a meeting outside of a public meeting.
But if it was sent out before, Amy, and we have the opportunity to say, I object, we have that opportunity in email all the time, so.
What if you identified one contact person that each of the council members, if they had an objection to that proclamation, could contact and state, I have an objection and here's my objection. The language, the content, I don't want to, I object to proclaiming this this day or something. And then it wouldn't be all of you in a threaded email discussion, but rather, here's the proclamation, it's being sent to the governing body, the governing body has an opportunity to review it before the meeting, and then you have an opportunity to either call Sean or Lynn and say, here are my objections, and then they can in turn make those changes or determine whether or not there are objections to which it shouldn't be added to the agenda. And they can share that with whoever finalizes the agenda item.
And out of courtesy, you should be notified that let's say one of us go to Amy to get a proclamation done for us. We should probably be notified that one of us that we're thinking about doing that. Out of courtesy.
Well, the one reason, and this, I explained this to somebody the other day, that there has to be a clearinghouse. Somebody has, so that there isn't 7 agenda items that is the same thing. Everybody wanted it on the agenda, so there's 7 exact items. The other thing is there are certain things that need to be discussed at a certain time and maybe not at a certain time. That has to be kind of clarified too. But saying that, I don't want to be the one saying everybody agrees with this proclamation without some sort of a way of clearing that with everybody.
You see, I see that as the clerk's main job, to gather agendas.
But to gather them, but not necessarily to approve them.
No,
To me,
that's-
we review everything before a meeting anyway, or we should be. So if I had an objection to a proclamation, I would have reached out prior. Does that make sense? To me, I reviewed it already. So
It would still be on the agenda though, because you'd get it Thursday and it'd still be on the agenda Tuesday, correct?
But we can remove it. We don't want it on there.
As long as we remove it before it's advertised, because if it's advertised and then we remove it, that causes more hate and discontent than ever.
Well, it could
Or it
be
could.
red flags if you just said, well, I don't support domestic violence, whatever.
Because there's some wording that
Yeah.
needed changed or whatever, so I wouldn't
So
even
maybe
want it
an
on the
email.
agenda
Yeah, that makes sense.
until it's approved.
I would agree with maybe one single contact for all of us to say, hey, I
Yeah,
kind of object to this. But the other thing is a proclamation, and most proclamations is to recognize an individual or a group or and to honor them, right? And I don't feel that anybody sitting in this governing body would want to not honor somebody or a group, right? So I think if anybody's putting forth a proclamation and going through the right channels as such as illegal, I think the wording is probably correct at that aspect of things, and I think we should all be thinking about honoring the community in those ways too, or people in our community that way. That's how I feel with the proclamation.
Well, I mean, I guess I would just argue back. Again, this isn't about the proclamation. That's missing the point, right? We're not talking about whether we do or don't honor people. We're talking about the process to put that forward. It can't just be one person on the council putting forward a proclamation on behalf of 7 people. Somehow there has to be a check where we all get
Awareness for everybody.
a moment to chime in on behalf of the governing body. Otherwise, it needs to read, Councilmember Aaron Durst proclaims this on behalf of himself.
Or the mayor.
Well, but it is on behalf of the mayor.
Yes, yeah, all of them are.
But again,
Well, I
it's
would
not
put
about
on
the
behalf of the
proclamation.
mayor anytime, but not when it says on behalf of the governing body. And the mayor giving a proclamation is on behalf of the governing body. I mean, there's just no getting out of it. So, it would slow things down. I know it would slow things down, but I said slow things down. I know it would slow things down, but I still believe it should be addressed at a workshop prior to the meeting when it's proclaimed. I just feel that strongly about it.
would we have to have a workshop for every proclamation?
Well,
Because I don't want to, I'm sorry, we've had a lot of meetings lately.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it seems a little silly to have a workshop for every proclamation, just in my eyes. I'm sure it wouldn't take very long, but to me, it's as simple as an email prior. If people are reading, I guess. But
Well, I mean, a good chunk of them would be pretty, like, I mean, what, you got like Nurses Week, Public Works Week, I mean, those are the big national ones, I think, are the easy ones, right? So even in January, we could arguably just say, yes, these big ones, this is police work, this is Fireman's Week, right? I mean, those proclamations are pretty universal. I mean, and they're recurring, right? They happen year after year after year. So I think those are pretty easy. It's going to be far and few between, I think, where they go outside. But at the same time, I mean, you know, some of these are borderline commercials that really have nothing to do with the city. I mean, there's been some really, I would argue, questionable things that we have proclaimed that I want some kind of a check. That's all. I'm not looking for 4 hours of debate. Just, I mean, like I said, even if it just started out, just a workshop before, we'll try that, give it a couple, and see how it goes. You know, I'm not even opposed to a committee leader, if you will, right? Like a designated contact. So Daryl is our proclamation guy, and we all, if you send one out, then we all go back to Daryl and say, here's my thoughts on this.
Don't we have the city attorney review all of our things already? And she's.
Members of the council,
Yes, Steve, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Yes, Tabari.
hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, my thinking is this. In all my time on the council, I've never seen where we had a problem with a proclamation. And I guess I must be missing something with this council. I don't understand what the big issue is. We have a proclamation that usually what happens is somebody might bring up a subject or bring up something to address a proclamation, then the staff put together the proclamation, the mayor reads it, talks about it, they make the changes they want to make, then they read the proclamation. So what's the issue?
Let me ask you this, Dabari, when a proclamation comes past that's going to say that you're for it, do you want to have your voice say you're for it, or you just want, I mean, I just don't like the surprises. But I just think it would be a better thing if we all knew it was coming.
Well, I guess what I'm missing is we've done a number of proclamations in the time that I've been on the council, and it didn't seem like it was ever a problem. And I understand what you're saying, and somebody wrote a proclamation and is saying that I'm for it, which maybe I'm not. I could understand, but that should be taken care of prior to bringing it before the council at a meeting.
But what method would you object to it if the first time you saw it was at the meeting and it was already on the agenda?
Well, what I'm saying is that before we even, okay, say I want to put together a proclamation, and I go take it to, we'll say, the city clerk, and she presents it to the city attorney, and they read it over, and I guess it's okay, and everybody thinks it's fine. They bring it to the council, then before the meeting, we've already talked about that proclamation. We already all agree.
But when is that before the meeting? When, define that.
If there was something that that meant addressing an ordinance or something to that effect, I could understand a debate, but proclamation is basically recognizing somebody or something.
Or some business.
I guess that's where I'm at. I just trying to figure out what, the only issue that you're saying that we have is that you don't think it's right that somebody bring a proclamation before us telling the public that we all agree before we agree.
Correct.
That's right.
Yes.
Is That's right.
Yes.
Well, they should put that in the proclamation.
Leave the language out.
This is not on behalf of the council.
Just leave the language out. But that's proclamation language. That's what I've grown
I
up.
don't know, I guess I'm just looking, I never have really got involved with these proclamations that we've had. They just ended up coming up on the agenda. The mayor sets up the agenda and it comes before us and it's read. It doesn't say that we all agree, it's just a proclamation. It's just read to the public.
But DeBari, I guess,
Then at that, in the meeting, you could stand up and say, I don't agree with the proclamation.
That would be very unpopular. That would be
Well-
rude.
I understand that, and I understand that it would be unpopular, but if you don't feel that, that proclamation is right, you have the right to get up and say, I don't agree with it, and then let the public decide whether you're right or wrong.
well, DeBari, I guess I agree with you. All I'm saying is that we should have that discussion the week before the meeting is brought in, right? I agree with you.
Exactly, that's what I said. Before the meeting, before we have the meeting, the mayor has read the proclamation, the staff has put it together, and if it looks all right to them, bring it up. And then if there's somebody on the council who doesn't feel that they support that proclamation, let them say so if they want to. We can't keep people from talking. I've never seen a proclamation where anybody's ever stood up and they disagreed with it. Other than the last one we had, because it actually said that we all agreed.
But don't they all start that way?
I'm doing something.
So we can maybe
No.
correct that language and just say, for some of the people up here might agree with this.
This is what I'm saying, and if you think it's right, let it be. If you don't like it, you can stand up and say something. I've never seen anybody do it, but I guess you can.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Lynn, go ahead.
I've always thought
I'm
of
having trouble wrestling with this one because it seems like all the time that I've served on the council, I've never seen anybody challenge a proclamation.
I thought it was the prerogative of the mayor, and that's part of his duties, I think, to review those when they come up via the clerk's desk, and it goes on the agenda, and if he doesn't want it on the agenda, he has the right to do that.
You know, if it was a proclamation addressing something that wasn't right, or for whatever reason, I guess somebody could say, hey, I don't agree with this proclamation. I don't think this is the way it should be. But I've never had it happen. I've never seen it. I don't know. Linda's been there 15 years or so, 20, I guess. I don't know. Has she ever seen it come up before us?
No, I was a clerk in another life too, for 8 years, and those things came before us. Never have an issue with it. I don't know what the issue is now, except to change the language so that some people on the council are not offended when it says the governing body. But a proclamation language is pretty standard, and I've never objected to many proclamations. There's probably some things that I would not get behind, but because the public brought them in and wanted us to address it, I didn't object to it. Probably wouldn't stand up and say, hey.
I think it would depend on how you write it.
That's why we have stuff
You know, if
going
you
through
write
the
it
city
saying that we all
attorney.
agree, when we maybe don't all agree, well, that's something else, but I think if you went through it, Mr. Mayor, and read it, and you don't feel that it's committing anybody, and you feel it's a good proclamation, I'd say go for it.
Do we agree that it's just those words on behalf of the governing body that everybody is having some issues with?
No, I would say it's the timely matter to read it and before it goes on the agenda. That would be fine.
So do you feel like we've gotten some we haven't been able to read then?
I wanted it read, if you don't.
And I concur with that statement.
I can think of only one since I've been here that I had a terrible time reading because I didn't believe a word of it. Just to be honest with you. I'm not going to say what it was,
Right.
but there was one of them that I don't think, in talking to other council members, they agreed with that one either. Necessarily. I would just like a way. All I'm asking for is that we work as a team. That's all I'm asking for. And that when something like that comes up, that there is a way to weigh in on it before it's on the agenda and before it's out into the public. That's all I'm asking.
And Mr. Mayor, my feeling is that you have the right as a mayor of the city of Rawlins, chosen by by the council to represent us, to address the agenda. You usually find out a week before or 5 days before. And then if you see something in that proclamation you don't like, maybe you don't want to put it on the agenda, but you call it all and say, this is what I read into it, and I want to get your opinion. That would be the way to control that. But you're the one that sets up the agenda. You're the one that says what's going to go on the agenda this week.
Would a minimum week, just a minimum time be 7 days notice for you before the actual meeting? Would that?
Well, if I come up and I look at the agenda on a Friday or a Thursday, like I'm asked to do, so they can advertise it in time to have the meeting, I don't have time to call everybody, so.
Yeah, it needs to be like that.
So I guess as a courtesy,
Right.
if nothing else, that you get with the clerk at least a week before that, if you can. There'll always be them emergency ones, like the national ones that somebody didn't think of or whatever. We could probably squeak those in, but some of the proclamations should be at different meetings. Some should, some, you know what I'm saying? Just some way of sorting through it. I don't have a problem with that as long as I have time to check with everybody or whatever, but I want to do it in a legal manner too. I don't want to have a meeting outside the meeting to find out if we should have it in the meeting. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but to me, how I would interpret it is that you sent out an email and said, this is the proclamation that's coming before us. Any objections, reach out to Amy or Lynn or whoever. I feel like that's for me. Now, I'm okay with doing it in our already packed meetings before the meetings, but whatever you guys want.
I don't know.
It's not been an issue for me personally. I haven't had a problem with any product.
Not an issue for me either.
But that's just me. I haven't had.
I've had a couple.
Mayor,
I really have had, and it's been a tough one too.
I can call you on Wednesday afternoon and see if you're available. We can go over the agenda on Wednesday. Because I've asked all of the department heads to provide everything that's going to be on the agenda by Wednesday at 11 o'clock, because I have a cutoff. I need to send it to the paper by Wednesday at 11:30. So we could meet sometime on Wednesday in the morning, and if
As long as I can call everybody within, 20, 30 minutes and then get back with you so you can or cannot put it on the agenda. There's the problem.
But
Advertise
proclamations is not an action item, so by Wyoming statute, it doesn't need to be in the paper, only action items. So if I meet with you on Wednesday afternoon, it still gives you enough time to meet with all the board members. Would that help?
So when do you send the agenda? So it's not going to be on the agenda?
If you're okay with it, I would put it on the agenda and I would upload it when all the other documents have been provided.
When is that? What day would that be on?
When I upload is usually either a Thursday afternoon or a Friday.
Okay.
So if we start meeting on a Wednesday, if that's in.
Or if they're on that one particular item, if there's proclamation or something that you feel that I would need to consult
Mhm.
everybody, then if you will let me know on a Wednesday,
Oh,
give me
certainly.
plenty of time to call, then by Friday I could say, yeah, put it on the agenda or don't.
Yeah, I can work with whatever
That will work,
schedule. If you,
But
whatever works for
that's
you is
what's,
fine with me.
but that, something like that is, would make me a lot more comfortable.
Okay.
Yeah,
If I can mention just one more thing, Mr. Mayor, like I say, I don't recall ever having a problem with any kind of a proclamation where I've had some issues, or not, I haven't had personally had some issues, but there's been some issues brought up where when, somebody wants to put something on the agenda, it's your decision to decide whether you put it on there or not. But it can be brought up at a meeting and voted on whether we want it on or not. But that's the only issue I've ever had in regard to the agenda. As far as I'm concerned, when we appointed you mayor, elected you mayor, I always felt that it was your responsibility to look at that agenda, and if you like what's on there or you don't like what's on there, you can take it out unless one of the council want to bring it up on the floor.
Well, and I understand that and I appreciate that, DeBari, but I'm trying to be fair to everybody at the same time and not, I just want to make sure that if there's a proclamation or really anything that says on behalf of the governing body or whatever that would indicate that we all agree on this, I would only be comfortable if we all agreed upon it.
Right.
And I don't feel comfortable speaking on behalf of everybody unless I know that that's the case.
Maybe if the staff could get the proclamation to the council before the meeting, and then they could call you and say they disagree, I guess. I'm just saying that I haven't ever seen an issue like this come up. It just, because most proclamations, it ain't actually a vote that we're taking. We're just recognizing something, some issue, some person, and I've never seen it to be a conflict. I guess that's where I'm at, and I don't, unless I'm missing something, that's where I'm at.
I can tell you this, when I was a commissioner, there was one acid test, and that was, if you're going to get up and say the commissioners feel this way about it, you need to have a set of minutes in your hand. Otherwise, you have to get up and say, I feel this way about it. That's to me, that's a big difference.
The few county commissioner meetings that I met, the way they handle their meeting and the way we as a council have in the past is really different, really is. They do some things that we don't do. A good example, they might go into an executive session and they come right out and vote on something. I mean,
Just like us. We do
they
that.
just don't follow the same rules that we follow.
Well, I realize they're a little bit different, but,
More power, more authority,
well, and that,
different authorities.
do you really want me speaking on behalf of you? Or would you like some input?
I give my input.
Not if you're not given the chance. Then, all I'm asking is that if you will call me, if there's a proclamation, as soon as you get it in your hot little hands, and if it's after Wednesday, we're not going to do it.
Okay.
Just that simple, because that would not allow time to disseminate that information and make sure it's correct. If I'm not made aware by Wednesday, it probably will not go on the agenda.
Okay.
I'm not
Well,
saying,
maybe that's a change we need to make, Mr. Mayor. We can say something to the effect that all proclamations must be put in at a certain date on a week before, the Thursday before the council meeting, or the Friday before the council meeting.
I think it needs,
Look at it to decide if you want to put it on the agenda or not. Or
Well-
if you don't like something, you can call council members.
If she lets me know by Wednesday, and and that will give me a day and a half or almost 2 days to call enough of the council to know where I'm at, to make me feel comfortable with it, then I can let her know in plenty of time to advertise that, and that will work. But what I'm saying is, if somebody has a proclamation, they need to get it in no later than
At least
early morning Wednesday, or something like that.
I mean, at least a week, they already know what they want. They want to recognize somebody in our community, and they want a proclamation. They already know that, so they should at least give you, I would think, 5 days or to look at it and see if you agree with it. If you have some problems with it, then you let the council know about it.
Well, and even if I don't have a problem with,
I think.
even if I don't have a problem with it, I still have to let the council know, because one of them might have a problem with it that I'm not aware of. But if I get notified on a
That
Wednesday,
becomes my problem.
then I'll be
Because
fine.
If I have a problem with a proclamation, I'm the one that's got to face the public. They're going to ask me why.
So I'm not comfortable with fighting about it in the public. I'd just as soon have it settled before it's even on the agenda, is the point I'm trying to make. There's no reason for us not to have vetted it before it goes on the agenda.
That's right. You don't have to put it on the agenda. You control the agenda. You're the mayor. You control that. And so if they give you a week's notice and you think it's a pretty decent proclamation, why not go for it?
I
You're
agree.
the one that has the control. You don't have to put it on there.
Myra?
This is just a piece of information. For a long, long time, when Marla was here even, the deadline for submission of agenda items has been Wednesday at noon for a long time. I don't know how well that's been enforced, but that's been public. And our new internal one, we just haven't put it out to the public, is Tuesday at noon. So our internal controls are already going to allow your new timeline to work. Like, this isn't a thing you can just call us on Thursday and say, hey, what about this? We're already telling people that's going to have to be the next week.
That's automatically.
Yeah, that's already happening. It's even on our website, so.
Well, that settles it. We'll just handle it that way, and I'm comfortable with that, but I wasn't comfortable before we started talking about it tonight. John, did you have something to add?
Really, it's up to you guys on how you want to handle it. Just as another thought, and maybe this was mentioned at one point, but as an alternate way to do it, you could just say it's, I, Terry Wycombe, as mayor of the city of Rollins, proclaimed this day, and just leave it like that. And then you can decide, use your judgment on which ones you want to put through, and then you don't have to make calls to everyone, and you'll use your good judgment to push things through as you need to. But it's totally up to you.
Well, and on almost all the proclamations will be rubber stamp stuff. I mean, that's what history would show. You know, it's like every year they come up or whatever. It's some of the other ones. And I could give you some examples, but I'm not going to. But there are several examples that I would have felt better about if everybody would have read it and got I don't like surprises, and I don't want to surprise anybody else. I just don't, there's no reason for it. We just need to have it. If it's coming in on Tuesday, then if there is a proclamation involved, just make sure to let me, even if you email, you might want to do something else, because I don't sit at the desk. I do have email, but I don't.
Nope. I
Might need to be cued to look at it today.
No, I can do whatever if you feel comfortable, if you want me to call you every time, it's not a problem.
Well, or
I'll
just
find you
text
the-
me or call me and just say, hey, check out your email. There's that, just something to cue me to go look.
Yep, I'll be. glad
Sometimes
to.
I don't for a half a day or
That's
whatever.
perfectly fine.
And at midnight's not when you want me to start answering emails, and that's usually when I'm reading them.
That's perfectly fine. Whatever works for you is fine with me.
Okay, does that sound okay with
I
everybody?
was just gonna say, Mr. Mayor, I fully support, this is great, that they're saying by Tuesday and you feel comfortable to be able to grab that, and I'd say let's give it a try and just see how it goes. This is, I think it's a very simple and reasonable solution, from my point.
And it would make me feel a lot more comfortable.
Mr. Mayor, I can give you another example. We've had proclamations honoring peace officers that have served in the police department for whatever reason, maybe recognizing police officers. Well, sometimes we skip a police officer, and I don't agree with that. But I don't bring it up, and I agree with the proclamation. I agree with the officers that were trying to bring out their name for doing the community good, but we don't name them all. And I don't agree with that, but I don't bring it up because I feel like the police officers that they're talking about, I agree with. They might have just left one out.
Now you'll be able to.
I wouldn't bring that up in a meeting and say, well, I disagree with this proclamation because I wanted this officer recognized. I wouldn't do that.
Well, no one would. That's what's wrong with it. That's why we're trying to do it a different way.
So you don't have a chance before the meeting to be able to say,
And that's what I'm saying. The different way is that if you as the mayor feel that you need a week to look at the proclamation before you set it on the agenda that you're in charge of, that's fine with me. I don't have a problem with that.
okay, he's right.
And then if you find something that you don't agree with, but you want to talk to the council about it, call them on the phone.
Yeah, I think we've got a plan. All right, anybody else? And then I'm gonna adjourn this work session, if not. We are adjourned.
Nothing further.
Thank you all.
So I've restarted my computer 3 times tonight and it still says to restart it.
I don't like it, and I have.
Daryl?
It was like, well, I could look at it, but
Is it just doing updates?
It just keeps saying an update is required. So I say update, and then updates and restarts. And then it pops up and says, hey, you need to update and restart.
I would
Cool.
just
Do
cancel
it
the
again.
next one or postpone.
Well,
Val,
Oh,
when I go to that.
yeah.
we'll tell it to do it one more time.
There's you
I
can,
knew that much.
yeah. There's a couple.
You're still live, you're
apps
still listening, and now you can't hear anything because I'm just talking over.
Yeah,
I think
Yeah,
it might be.
yeah. It'll take a minute.
Well,
It's not the same thing that you can hear over my voice. It's just
No, it's Debbie now.
all over. There's just nothing there. It's just, all over your stereo.
Yeah. I came in and talked to.
Whoops, was that on? I am so sorry. I had no idea.
Today, the commissioners adjourned into executive session, and I immediately also my recorder and read that to them. Because usually they go in another room, there's some caution today.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to punch your password in?
Oh, no, my recorder was rolling there was this like an initial look of panic, otherwise you fill this out, send it to
She's
them.
joking. But I'd like to see the panic in your eyes.
It was pretty funny.
Do you want to sync anything? I told her no.
Like what? I just want to go from my computer. I don't want,
We're gonna.
I just got a new.
No. There's another app. I'll do that. Yep. Have you done this yet with your phone?
What is it?
the new authentication to check your email?
The city?
Yeah,
No, I don't put the city email on my phone.
well, not on it, but like to view it through the webmail.
Oh, no, I've never viewed it through webmail or no, I just I get online almost every night.
Whatever.
Uh,
So, you also, before you come in, you will come to the finance since we should have our city conference, and then she'll go over everything what you need to do for the winter.
Oh, that's
Receipts and things. The hotel is just being held under my cards, and they will just give you your card and what about not your personal?
Yeah, we're muted on Facebook, but we're live.
Okay. So she'll give, okay. Yep, bring the card with all the receipts and everything. She'll explain everything to you. So you just come in, have for lunch, like,
I think so.
Monday or Friday before you leave. That was already enough time that way, so I don't wanna cut you too short, okay?
Yeah.
So you and Daryl are.
Not busy tomorrow.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine, you're fine.
Everybody got getting sped out.
It happens.
I remember what I got.
Yeah.
How do you feel about your parents today? I meant to text you, so we
Awesome.
need your
Thanks.
picture. So like, do you want to get your picture taken today?
Maybe
Where do you want to go?
smoke myself in the head with a piece of tile.
Unit sugar?
I hear this.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, can you make it like 11?
Oh, I'm good.
Is that what's happening?
Yeah. That's what I was wondering. I didn't know if it stopped or not.
I was just about to lift my finger over. Maybe I shouldn't do that.
That's funny.
So my boys
Yeah,
have that
it's the
summer
mom thing.
movie, so I just
It's-
I'll drop them off.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's not like bleeding bad. Now that I know.
You don't feel it anymore.
Maybe it's actually dry.
I think it's just dry.
Maybe we should
Yeah.
take your picture.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about.
Forever, your little picture.
Yeah. Permanent.
The day I clocked myself with a towel.
What were you tiling?
I was taking tile out,
Oh.
helping my sister.
What a good brother.
I don't think she'd have been happy if I knocked myself out cold in her house.
You're bleeding in my bathroom.
Yeah. Get out. Huh?
When did you do that?
At 5:30?
So you're bringing DC2 of me?
No, it was just, I was holding one piece and I was trying to pry out another one. And as I was holding the one, it finally let loose and smoked me right in the head. It was wonderful. I guess I was pulling on it. I didn't realize how hard I was pulling on the thing.
We had like 8 minutes.
It'll take me 8 minutes just to figure it out.
Okay, well, let me show you the basics. It's pretty simple. It's not good on phone. Oh, I mean, we can look at it on my computer, and then at least you'll know. No. It was. Oh, it happens.
We had so many.
How are you? Good.
I spoke with him earlier, he was gonna contact us, but and if he was, he was supposed to call me back.
Oh, I'm gonna go with him now. I'm just trying to gauge how long I think this will take.
Good gauge.
Well,
Hey, no, that's a good.
Right.
That's a good, tool, right?
Yeah.
To be trusted.
Oh, she sounds like she's a veteran at the council meeting. Right. Well, I wouldn't go hard up on it if I didn't have commissioners.
Even more so this week.
Because then it's like,
I said even more so
Yeah.
this week.
I get it.
my brain can only, have they started reading their? I know.
Nothing.
I know. I've always been super thrown off by that because even though I've gone through this process so many times, I was
I can sit in that seat over there, like,
do this
maybe
thing.
this.
So every year I just start to reach out to him and I'm like, so Rogers is doing this.
I said, he was
When
like
are
a poke
you?
the bear when he's not nice.
That's why I sat here. You came on to me twice.
It was mad today.
I didn't see that.
It wasn't his first.
Sure, those other three properties, right.
I get it.
It was cool to kind of figure.
Yeah.
I'm nice. It'll be like, what's that? Like, one inside, but keep going.
Don't challenge me personally in front of everybody. That's a no-no.
Yeah?
Everyone's a they don't. And he wonders why he gets 6-1 vote or 5-1 vote all the time.
Right. Right. I would think. Some of those straight teams, like, almost like that we had interview on maybe one of both of you guys helped us with our trash talkers one.
Like ordinances, trash talkers. This is.
Each one different, there's new.
So on this is the 7 criteria under which you pass or don't pass. Planning and zoning, correct, Chris?
Yeah, the A through G or whatever, that's where you can, you agree or disagree about.
And it was recommended, right?
Yeah, 4 to 2, was it?
Yeah, 4-2 recommended.
Yeah, so I usually like to go along with the recommendations of our boards and commissions unless it's so far afield that I feel it's wrong.
So, I'll speak on that.
Right.
And if you agree, you do.
Don't-
You do. I'll take nothing personal.
No, I'm not gonna take it personal.
That's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take it to the town center and hang it.
Is this the center or?
No,
Yeah,
not
where
quite.
is the center?
Oh, goodness.
My email is
Hello.
a disaster.
You know,
It's not working still?
No, it's just I
the other
never
thing-
put anything into folders or
Oh, I need to go
or
back.
delete all the venture, whatever.
Yeah.
I need to go back and folders.
Yeah.
Stuff, but no, my email won't work sometimes. Like
Oh,
I'll,
for sure I will.
I'll open it up and then it won't populate or anything. I hit send and receive, nothing. Then I'll go in the next day, open it up and it'll.
All of them will put in, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Do you use
mine,
it on your phone or no on your phone? Because I don't put it on mine on my phone either.
Yeah.
I only use it on
The computer.
computer, yes.
Yeah,
that's what I
how mine
like.
goes.
I like it on my phone because then I,
the first.
You can check it right away.
well, when I'm not busy and other 500 things, I can check it.
Wind turbine.
He thinks about it
The
like for the
rotor
other
that
day.
had like the steam and everything.
Do you like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it?
Goody. Poor guy.
bad. I was working out of town and I was probably out and it's hot.
They say if you had it worse on your first, the second one shouldn't be as bad.
I hope that's the case, because I've got a pretty, every time you but I hope that's the case too, because I got sick too on my first.
What about your second?
I haven't got it yet. I wasn't gonna.
Well, next week,
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
we're doing it Wednesday and Thursday.
Oh, yeah, Thursday. Shoot me a text or
Okay.
at 10 days if you remember.
I'll try to remember tomorrow.
Did you go for your second?
Yeah, I need to get it done.
I
Yeah.
got my second one right away. Because I could see it, but it didn't. do it.
Fortunately, I'm not that guy.
I got sick on that first one.
You know, like when you're on the phone and you're walking around like you're.
There it goes.
A lot of times it's cute. My glasses, I have them on my face and I'm looking for them.
I hook them on my collar.
Do we have an executive session tonight? There wasn't one on there, was there?
I don't think so.
No.
Is it? Okay. I didn't think so.
I'm not sad about it.
Hey, Kelly, I got that airport thing. Well, I haven't had a chance to look at it. Is it just ready for me to type into it now, or did you get it where it was? Did you put information in?
I can't
I
remember.
have information there on plates where I need to know.
So all of the above. You did what you could do. There's still some stuff that needs,
I formatted it, it's ready for you to just enter stuff in.
hopefully.
And I'm happy to sit with you too.
Okay, I'm gonna try and do it first thing tomorrow morning, but
Yeah, I'm happy
What's
to
that?
have you.
Oh, no, I can't.
Work with you.
Present, though. Maybe it was.
No, I'm- Yeah.
Oh, it's June first.
I tried to do it as much as I possibly could, so that we'll have to do.
I have to stop and think.
no, that's awesome. Just getting it where I can just start manipulating was a great, I mean, that was,
Yeah.
I just, it was a lot.
All right.
So that works, thank you.
Yeah, it was a June 1st, so I can't vote on them.
All right. I will call this meeting to order. It is 7:31. First thing on the agenda is, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next thing on our agenda is a roll call. Clerk,
Yes. Mayor Terry Wycombe,
here.
Vice Mayor Jacqueline Wells. Here. Councilmember Aaron Durst.
Here.
Councilmember Darrell Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Barry Martinez. He must have got, all right, I'll go back. And Councilmember Linda Smith.
Present.
Councilmember Chris Weisenberg.
Hello? Hello?
Hi. Okay,
Am I in?
you are in. Thank you.
All right, the first thing on our agenda, the next thing on our agenda is the public hearing of ordinance. It's a second reading of an ordinance amending the Rollins Municipal Code license plate display. I would entertain a motion, or no, this is a public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to comment on that particular ordinance change?
Is the floor open for public,
Yes, if you have a comment about this is strictly about the public hearing about the ordinance changing from having to have two license plates front and rear to just having a rear license plate. If it's about that, now is when to comment.
when is it open for,
Later. Is there anybody that would like to comment on this? All right, I will close this public hearing. I will open the next public hearing. It's the second reading of, to amend Rollins Municipal Code 19.40.050, fences, adding livestock fencing as a permitted material for landscaping, tree, shrub, garden, and flower bed protection. Is there anybody that would like to speak on that subject? Hearing none, I will close a public hearing and open another public hearing for the third reading of the 2021-2022 fiscal year municipal annual budget. Is there anybody that would like to speak to that? Hearing none, I will close that public hearing. I will open a public hearing for special use permit 21-03-01 for application to allow for a temporary use of a retail liquor license, let's see, liquor store located at 1111 Daly Street. Is there anybody that would like to speak to that? Hearing none, I will close that public hearing. And now we are down to citizens' participation. This is a time when anybody that has anything they would like to visit about can come up and speak, and they will be given 5 minutes to tell us what they need to tell. And Rick, this is what you were asking about.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor and council members. Thank you very much. The time that I got, I don't want to waste too much time here, but what I did is for my own comfort and assurance, didn't have a lot of paperwork because, you know, I got printed for everybody and everything. So I sent everybody an email, and I think it's there. You should get it. Anyway, it's a follow-up to an email that I had about a particular item that happened here, and I'd like to apologize to the general public that I don't have that information for you, and hopefully it will be posted on the city Facebook page or wherever they can look at it. A picture paints 1,000 words, and sometimes even a picture ain't good enough, and to be present there is probably the best thing to do. And I'm concerned about I guess a sinkhole that happened down on the south side. And that sinkhole was addressed. I ride a motorcycle, I also drive a vehicle. And this particular sinkhole came out of nowhere. I just want to say that. But anyway, I want to read what I sent to each one of you, okay? It says, good evening, Honor Mayor and council members. And I thank you very much. Thank you for the update and appreciate your efforts in this very important safety matter, especially when this could or still could be a deadly situation for everyone living or visiting our wonderful city. What still concerns me is the language used in your response and the response of the city's city manager, and absolutely no response from the city's safety person. Maybe he hasn't been notified as of yet. This is from the Public Works. This is just a portion of it. It says, we inspect and make sure all manholes are properly addressed. And this is from our city manager. I've CC'd Danielle Gross, Community Development Director, Interim Public Works Director, to this email, and she can take it from here. She may call you if she has specific questions. It appears that this safety issue has been set aside or not taken seriously, and these emails are for pacification purposes, and possibly no substantial action or activity has taken place to keep or prevent what has clearly happened from ever happening again. I cannot avoid the thoughts that this type of safety issue is not only happening or about to happen, taking into consideration the problems we've had and having at the sewer plant, and the use or lack of use of sewer equipment to prevent these issues from ever happening again. I'm very, very grateful, excited, and thankful that a dedicated, concerned, vigilant, diligent, long-term resident and retired employee of this city addressed this safety issue. and neither of you addressed this concerned American and longtime Rollins residents' vigilance in this safety issue, and very concerned as to why. Is it city policy that a resident cannot or will not be recognized for their involvement addressing or doing their civil involvement duty or their neighbors and you city employees? Is it or was it the problem that it was or is a retired city employee that addressed what could have been possibly a deadly safety situation? Is this an example of how our retired city employees are treated, can be expected to be treated, to include general public, residents, and visitors to Rollins? Are these responses the very best and the most professional responses that you both can muster? Really? Am I or any other resident, retired employee, current employee, or Rollins visitor expected to be convinced that their concerns are being addressed by this type of response to what could have been a serious injury to someone's person or serious damage to someone's property, i.e. car, truck, motorcycle, etc.? Could it be a lack of critical concern and thinking because no one, or at least I'm not aware of anyone getting injured or property damage done, that this issue is treated as just another day, so just move on? Does it take a resident, visitor, to be killed, hurt, or property damage to address safety issues with a professional and dedicated response? Or is this the actual attitude and action of what appears to be of leadership, current, past, and therefore expressed in performance, which is expressed in action and activity by the employees because of the leadership's leadership or lack thereof? I have attached a photo, and there's some photos in there of how the current problem has been taken care of the finished product of this matter. And I would hope that close attention to it is taken, and this clearly acceptable performance, or have either of you been there at any time before, during, after the safety issue? Because sometimes a picture just is not good enough to have the impact of being there. Semper Fi, Rick. I apologize. I didn't want to waste too much of my time because I get 5 minutes to express this up here. If there's any question or concern, I'm willing to do it. Yes, ma'am.
I apologize, Rick. I didn't get your email.
And see, that's the situation that I hate to say this, okay? Sounds to me like a broken record.
I got your original email.
Okay.
Not
this one
you just read.
This one here is probably going to be there or should show up here shortly.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted it to come. The reason I did that is I hardly ever get any kind of response from anybody. I did get the response finally from the city manager, and that was it. It took now I don't know if we want to go into what exactly happened, and you all, I apologize, you got part of the actual email that went out, and I do apologize. There were pictures in support of everything that I had, and they have them with the original emails. We did have some individuals show up. We had the mayor show up, and we had a city council member show up, and feelings got hurt, you know, and we got a little excited, which
Your
is part
5
of it.
minutes are up.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Is there anybody else that would like to address the council during this time? Rita, please come forward. And please state your name, because I know who you are, but maybe not everybody does.
Oh, surely everybody knows.
Almost everybody does, don't they?
Hi, I am Rita Sondergaard, and most of you know me as the community coordinator for Sinclair Oil Company. And I have not been in that position now for 2 years. I'm retired. And when my husband told me that we were going to retire, I didn't think it would be Carbon County. But
we're glad it is.
But here we are, and so am I. In the time that I was at Sinclair, I actually grew a love for this community and what the possibilities could be for it. And so tried at every instance to do what I could through the company itself. And now that I am an individual living in the county, I have decided that I'm going to try and do my best as a community activist to make living as good as can be for the citizens of this county, of this city, especially the children. A lot of you know that Christmas is my thing. And so every other year we will endeavor to continue to do the Christmas portion. Although we are not living in Rawlins, sad to say, we're living in Saratoga, but I like Rawlins better. So I have decided my personal crusade would be to preserve a lot of the historic buildings as I could. And so that is my mission to do that. And so the only thing I guess I'm here to say is I am here to help. I am here to preserve the history and the actions that go on in this city because I do love it. I would like for anyone to come to me with a project that may be forthcoming, but suffice it to say, I'm simply here to help. I have no alternative motives. I'm too old to start a new business. I'm too tired to conduct a new business, but I'm very supportive. And I will say congratulations to Rawlins for the wave of young people that are coming through and starting businesses, conducting businesses, and doing what is right for this community. Thank you.
Rita, thank you for everything you've done for Rawlins over the years. It's not been unnoticed. Councilman Weisenberg.
Rita, I just want to say also, and I seen you today, you know, but I want to say thank you again, you know. You, yeah. So you know, a lot of people don't know that, and you've got 2 buildings that I know about right now that you're doing an amazing job with, and I want to say thank you because it will help the beautification of our city with those projects. So thank you.
Is there anybody else from the community that would like to speak? All right, hearing none, we're going to go on to the next thing on the agenda is approval of the regular minutes of June 1st. Vice Mayor Wells, sorry.
I move to approve the city council regular meeting minutes of June 1st, 2021 as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the city council regular meeting minutes of June 1st, 2021 as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please open online voting.
Online voting is open.
Yay, I'm re-voting here.
Okay.
Yay.
Thank you. All right. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 6 yeas and 1 abstain. Linda Smith abstained. Councilmember Linda Smith.
All right, the next thing on the agenda is to approve the special minute meetings of June 8th. Vice Mayor Wells.
I move to approve the city council special meeting minutes of June 8th, 2021 as presented.
Linda Smith seconds it. So there's been a motion made and seconded to approve the city council special meeting minutes of June 8th, 2021 as presented. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please open online voting.
Online voting is open. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on our agenda is to approve the agenda. Councilman Smith.
I move to approve the agenda as presented.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the June 15th, 2021 City Council agenda as amended. Is there any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is now open. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on our agenda is City Council reports, Board of Adjustments. Councilman Durst.
Mr. Mayor, I have nothing to report. As far as I know, there is no upcoming scheduled meetings.
Thank you. Carbon County Council of Governments, we have not had a meeting since our last meeting, so I have nothing to report. DDA Main Street, Councilman Smith.
I'll be briefly, our meeting is the 21st. We'll be addressing some issues. The other thing, we're planting flowers downtown on the 21st also, so I'll bring back another report next time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Rollins Planning Commission, Councilman Weisenberg.
There's nothing to report. Haven't had a meeting since the last one, and I'm not aware of another yet.
Okay, thank you. Urban Systems Committee, Councilman Garner.
Nothing to report. We have a meeting coming up in July.
Okay, thank you. Next thing on our agenda is update on public works projects and streets. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not sure who the presenter is. Let's see. Danielle Gross and the intern, Lewis, also. Lou, don't be bashful, Lou. We know you're not.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm a little unprepared. I just got here from the wastewater plant, so I'm actually gonna start with that. We are running the wastewater treatment plant at reduced flows right now. Everything's looking really good. So it's been an interesting day. That's why I'm sunburned as well. So, but we'll be spending some more time out there tomorrow. We did have some issues with just sheets, full pillows coming through from the penitentiary. So I have saved those tags and we will be letting them know. So, but I wanted to give a little bit of an update on just some projects. Lou, Sean, Jody, and I met in a lot of detail. As I'm sure everybody knows at this point, I will be leaving the city. So I wanted to try to get them up to speed as much as I can. I have also offered, and I sincerely mean this, that they can call me at any time, ask questions. I will help however I can moving forward. So I'm going to try not to cry.
Me too.
So I'm just going to kind of go through some of these projects fairly quickly, just so you guys are aware of what they are. If you have specific questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or Lou. But we do have the Fort Steele pump house lease. This has been something we've been working on for a while. We closed out the Sinclair pump station. That's completely taken care of, but we've been working with the railroad through that. They did provide us a lease agreement that our legal has reviewed and had some comments. So we're trying to work with them to get some of those changes made to make sure that we're protecting the city. We are going to be moving forward with the YDOT recon projects, and I know this is something that we've all talked about before. The top three projects were the pedestrian underpass on Higley, which is just south of Aberdeen and Harshman, the light at Murray Street, and then the rebuild of Airport Road. Previously, I had talked a little bit about moving some of those projects forward and that we would have to just kind of touch base to make sure that you guys were good on which ones. And it was staff's recommendation that we don't proceed with the light at Murray because of the liability associated with that. But we have some 6-penny funding for those projects in addition to urban systems funding. We are sitting at just over $1.5 million, and that only requires a 9.54% match. So definitely have some good funding options for those projects. The spring collection rehab project, we've been talking about this a lot throughout the budget. Moving forward with that, we have actually seen a decrease in production. We're getting about 1,500 gallons per minute right now, where we were getting up to 25. We did do a tour out there and we do have some leaks on the Woodstave pipeline. So this will continue to be a very critical project for you guys and a good one long term because we need water for Rollins.
Turns out.
Yeah. So Walnut Street, you guys awarded that at the last council meeting. The contracts are with the contractor and they will be getting their performance bonds and contracts back so that we can move forward with that project. And that will hopefully get completed this year, assuming everything goes smoothly. And then Edinburgh Street, I do want to talk about this for just a minute. So we do have the design completed. Legal's reviewed it and it's back to them just to make sure we've not missed anything or overlooked something because it is a large document. However, I would like to make the recommendation that council wait to bid this until winter of this year. The intent was that we would bid it this summer. However, this is a pipe heavy project and we have faced some challenges with pipe right now. Before the pipe suppliers were giving a 30-day price, and then they dropped that to 10 days, and then 5 days. And now they're to the point where they will not even give pricing, or the most they'll give is a couple days. And that's as long as that price is good for. Again, pipe heavy project. So the complication is that how they can't bid fairly to us. There would have to be some contingency, and I think we're going to pay more. This is a 2-year project due to the size already, so it makes sense to kind of wait this out and hope that pipe and construction stuff in general kind of balances out, bid it out in the winter so that May of 22 they can really hit the ground running and get this project underway. I still, from a staff perspective, this is a priority area and absolutely needs to be done. I just don't think it would be fiscally responsible of us to try to bid it out at this point. So that one, assuming you guys are good with that, or if, you know, things change, we could definitely relook at that. We do have the 2019 water project that is getting close to being done. They've completed the major parts. They do have quite a few follow-up items and they'll do the final walkthrough. I believe Lou and Carl have already been touching base about that, and we've got a very detailed list of what's expected to be completed. And then following that will be the 2020 manhole project. This project was actually put on hold. It is the same contractor as the 2019 water project, so we had set the expectation that they would complete that first before moving into this one. But it is the addition of 14 new manholes and 2 replacements, and that is to help with better cleaning of our sewers and maintenance, things like that. We've already this year been working through the 2020 streets rebuild. They have Colorado and Delta Court to complete. Dunfell, Lambda, and Delta have been done. The contractor's making great progress there and it's looking really good. They will from there move right into the 2020 mill and overlay. And just a reminder, that's East Miller from Washington to Monroe, Gallup, and then Wyoming from Mahoney to Cedar. So there'll be some good streets being done there too. And then we are also tonight hopefully going to award the 2021 Ware Course project, which includes, I think it was 34 total streets, but we can talk about that when we get to it. So we also are moving forward with the FEMA mitigation project. We have received 2 proposals from different consultants, engineers on that. And they have been rated by a couple different staff members, so we'll be moving forward with them and trying to get a really good handle on what project is going to be the most cost effective and have the largest impact for Rollins. I'm going through this fast. Are you guys okay? Okay, sorry.
As long as you send me a copy of that.
I will, absolutely,
okay.
yes.
All right, thank you. I'm trying to write, but I can't write as fast as you're talking.
Yeah. And then the last public works thing is the tanks and corrosion review. So we actually, this is completed. We did look with Sunrise Engineering at our tanks. We have the 2 15 million gallon tanks at Tank Farm, plus our hospital in Painted Hills. The tank farm is getting pretty old and it's also probably too large for really what we need to make sure that we're cycling and using our water and it's not sitting there. So we did have an engineer look at that. They've given us some proposals. Those tanks are in the 10-year plan. It's not something that needs to be done this year or even next year, but definitely something to keep on the radar. And then part of that too, they also did a corrosion study on the 20-inch feeder line that comes from the treatment plant and feeds the high pressure zone of the city of Rollins, so about half of the municipality. We are having a lot of corrosion on that line. It is older and it is in the budget, actually was in the budget this year. And I believe is one of the items that we cut, but with this new information, which I will send to you guys as well, I know you guys are going to look at it in July, possibly. I think this is something that should be considered being replaced. Cannot tell you that it will fail next year or the next 5, but it is something that if it does fail, we will be in a critical point with our infrastructure and our water supply. So I don't want the city to get to that point. I want to make sure we're very proactive with that line. And again, I can share that report that we did get on the corrosion review because they did multiple test holes to review the pipe and look at it. So that is the public works projects. On the community development side of things, we do have the Rochelle Ranch subdivision, and this is something that we had talked about previously. It has been on hold just because of workload and some different things going on. It was, just as kind of a quick refresher, it was replatted several years ago. But when they did that, it was kind of funky. They didn't align the right-of-way with the current Rochelle Ranch Drive, and then they made smaller parcels. So what had been talked about previously, and I've shared the draft plan with Sean and Lou so that they can pull that for you guys when you get to the point of moving forward. But it made larger lots that were serviced by both water and sewer, and it realigned the current road within the right-of-way so that we wouldn't have to go out there and reconstruct that street. Which would be a huge cost savings. So, additionally, there's been some conversation. We had a citizen come up and talk to us about RV parks and mobile home parks with Title 16. Those amendments are partially drafted. They've just been, again, kind of sitting there on hold. And then tied to that, there's some Title 19 RV park amendments, and those two really need to be presented to the Planning Commission and then you guys together because they do work off of each other. And that way, when you guys decide whichever direction you move forward, you're getting the whole picture of what that would look like. The Title 19 portion of that, those amendments are completed at this point and just waiting for review by you guys in the Planning and Zoning Commission. Additionally, we have the community fishing pond, and the last time that we talked about this, council had indicated that they would appreciate some options. So I have actually completed what I'm calling the pond menu with some different options and the cost of those options. And then I also put just kind of as a footnote what the annual maintenance would be for that so that when you guys are looking, and I believe that Lou and Sean will be presenting this at the July 6th meeting, and I will be zooming in too, so if you guys have questions, but you'll be able to go through and say, you know, we want options 1, 3, and 7, or none, or whatever you guys want, and it'll be pretty easy for you guys to look at and see that. So that'll be moving forward. Our landfill transfer station permit does expire July of 2022. Wyoming DEQ likes to have those turned in 1 year prior because they do have a review period. And then there is a publication notice where we have to actually send letters. They have 30 days to respond. And then there's a secondary final review. This is actually almost completed. I did a huge portion of the legwork back in January. However, it does have to be stamped by an engineer. So Engineering and Associates, specifically Craig Kopaz, who is super knowledgeable in landfills, has been working on this, and they will get that submitted this July so that we can begin review on that. Once it's renewed, it'll be a 25-year renewal on that. So you'll have some time before you have to renew again, which is super helpful, mostly because it's kind of annoying. So a lot of technical stuff.
I will. I'll be dead.
No.
In 25 years from now.
And then the last couple things, we do have some Title X amendments that are drafted completely and staff will work through. This is specifically for shared rides. So in the past, or not too long ago, we had bird scooters interested in coming to our community. So this ordinance would specifically look at it. So it is slated to go back to Urban Systems Committee before coming to you guys. So that in the future, if we wanted to allow scooters or shared bikes, that we could do that within our community while still having some guidelines and things that they would have to follow, mostly safety related. And then there are a couple Title 19 amendments kind of hanging out there right now that are completely drafted and will go to the Planning and Zoning Commission for review. One of them is the 10-foot separation between structures. We have kind of a unique thing going on with our codes where we actually have two codes that are conflicting right now. So that needs to be talked about. We have a height amendment for like flagpoles in the airport area. Airport zone, I'm sorry. And we actually have it in our code now, but if you read it, I don't really know what the intent was. So we wanted to simplify it and align it with FAA standards rather than trying to overcomplicate it, and make sure if citizen reads it, they know what they're reading. And then the last one, the last amendment actually has come from the Board of Adjustments as a recommendation. And it is to look at the requirement for opaque fencing, which is required in certain areas. So that is drafted as well and would go actually to the Board of Adjustments because it is their recommendation, then planning, then council. So that summarizes most of our big projects for community development. Do you guys have questions?
I have a million of them. But they'll be answered as time goes by. Councilman Smith.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Danielle, first of all, we're going to miss you greatly. And I thank you for your service to the city of Rollins. Now, my questions are going to be kind of probably off the wall, but they involve the piping, and I know that production of wood and piping they're hard to get right now. But is there any problems with getting asphalt and overlay and anything like that? That's pretty much here already and it's being produced locally, is it not?
Yeah, and I was going to do a little street summary for you guys too. I just wanted to make sure you didn't have questions on this because I know I skimmed through that pretty quickly. So, but yeah, we are currently good on asphalt at this point and oil and things like that.
And your recommendation on Edinburgh is simply because of the piping, and I know that from work we're doing with water stuff and everywhere else, but that's your recommendation. Okay, I think that was the majority of what I wanted to ask. Thank you.
So I do want to just talk about streets for a minute. I know, and I apologize for not being more prepared. I have stuff sitting on my desk, but I have not made it back there. But I know that there's been a lot of discussion about tis the season for potholes, so and patching and things like that. Our streets crew actually has been up and running with their hot mix plant for, I want to say, about a month now, just under. We actually did have a motor go out at the hot mix plant, and it is ordered. It is expected to be here this week, and then they'll be back to patching next week. They did start out at the landfill road, and that was actually a strategic thing for a couple of reasons. We wanted to get it done before cleanup week where we have increased traffic, and two, we wanted to get that done so we could really focus our efforts in town. They have hit over 30, I think 8 streets I counted, and I know it's more than that. That's just kind of what we tracked. They've hit every street that is slated to be wear course this year, so that they're well ahead of the contractor. The contractor can come in here and just get going on that. They have begun working on street cut repairs and things like that. So we do, I guess, just wanted to refresh everybody's, I guess, memory, or let them know that we do focus on potholes and street cuts. I mean, that's all they do in the summer. If anybody is aware of a pothole or any area that needs attention, they can always call our office. They can submit through Request Tracker and let us know about those. But I guess I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. And then I did want to remind council too that moving forward as we do different streets projects, we do have, and I'll send this to you with everything else, that streets plan identifying the type of maintenance or repair that every street within Rawlins needs. Staff's intention was to try to do alternating years. So last year in 2020, we did a partial rebuild and partial mill and overlay. This year we're doing wear course. So next year we will be requesting in the budget additional funds to be doing rebuilds and or mill and overlay combination again and try to get into that alternating cycle, because the wear course allows us to really keep up so that we can make that street last longer. But we also have streets that are to the point like 12th Street that just needs a lot of love and attention. So just a little, yeah. So I just, again, just wanted to talk about that. But if you guys have specific questions to patching your streets, let me know.
Councilman Smith?
Recently, I think that you received a complaint on the South Side issue. When you get a complaint like that, do you have someone go down and check it out, or kind of measure or see how bad that issue is? Or
yes, we respond immediately whenever we get a call, especially if it's any type of safety concern issue. That one specifically, we actually had been notified, had placed barricades, and had called in locates. Now, we did not call in emergency locates because it was not an emergency and we had it properly barricaded, and because we had multiple other things going on at that same time. So it was addressed and taken care of, but we do respond right away.
Thank you.
Yes.
The guys that were working on that South Side deal, I want to pat them on the back a little bit. They did a great job, and under not the best of circumstances because of the surroundings, but I want to tell you they did a hell of a job, and they need a pat on the back.
Yes, we do have a lot of exceptional staff, so I would concur with that they are great and they do care about their jobs. And it is sometimes hard juggling multiple emergencies all at once, but they do the best that they can. So, and again, they're great.
I agree. Vice Mayor Wells?
I just want to say thank you, Danielle.
Thanks. I'm trying not to say too much because I'll just bawl. So, but I do thank you guys, and it has been really good. So
it's been a good run.
Rawlins is a better place because of you,
I will
and we
miss
appreciate
so
it.
many people. So, and I've been crying all week and just hugging everybody. So I'm going to be teared out by the time I'm done.
Don't be a stranger.
Yes, I will be sure to probably stalk you guys a little bit and watch your meetings and just peek on you, make sure you're behaving yourselves.
I don't that.
Yes. So, thank you guys though. For
Danielle, thank you.
And absolutely good luck.
Councilman Smith?
I have one more question because it's out in the public arena, but on the Fort Steele water, and maybe Mike will know this too, but you did the lease with the railroad. But as I remember, he said we had 5 million gallons or 10 million gallons, that we had that 5 million extra, but we haven't done anything with that. Could you address it really quickly?
So this is different than that. Okay. So we used to, a long time ago, well, I don't know, Leroy actually started, I think, over there, but we pumped from the river. We took it over from the railroad when they had pumped water when they had their steam engines. So we actually took 2 pump stations over, Fort Steele and Sinclair, and the employees, all the infrastructure, everything. And part of that lease was that when we were finished with it, we would reclaim it back. We'd take care of the buildings, all of that. So again, we have since taken care of Sinclair. Both of them have their complications. Both have asbestos in them. I feel Fort Steele's probably a little bit more dynamic and complex because it is kind of in a ditch, for a lack of a better word. I don't know what you would call it. hole. And there is that historic museum that sits right above that. So the whole intent that staff had initially was to renew that lease, to give the city time to work through exactly what our options were and or to save money to actually reclaim that, because we would have to fill that in or do a retaining wall or something. But I do think that there's some other viable options where we could have some partnerships, and I've talked to Lou and Sean about that, but I don't think we're to the point where we know if that's a thing or not, so.
Yeah, but we haven't, I'm not gonna say allocated because that's the wrong word, but we haven't leased out all of those gallons of water out of the river. They're
No.
still there and they're not, I know that we worked on it a little bit, but we still have water that we still.
Yes, we do.
own and, or have appropriations for and can use.
Yes, and we don't pump
Not
anything from
allocated
that
out.
site at all, but you are correct, yes.
I just want the public to know we haven't given our water away.
Okay. Thank you,
That's where I was
guys.
going with that one.
Okay.
Thank you, Danielle. All right. Next thing on our agenda is the city manager's report. So Sean?
Honorable Mayor and City Council. I just want to second what everyone just said. Thank you to Danielle for all the work that she's put in at the city. It's been an extra challenging year without having some extra help, and so big thanks to her and her husband Ben for all the work they did. Also, I want to thank Lou for being willing to step up into those shoes and fill that position right now. We're kind of looking at different ways to be able to help him as much as possible while we continue to look to fill those positions. So, and then also I would say, while I'm thanking everyone, I want to thank the other departments too. Everyone is just super willing to step up and help Public Works right now. So I really appreciate everyone being so willing. One thing I passed out a little bit earlier is this page right here. I just wanted to tell the public about this. We had a few different names that we wanted to do this Facebook Live event, and we settled on by a vote of our employees, behind the scenes, a monthly live discussion with City Manager Metcalf and city employees. I think it's going to be a great thing for the community for a lot of different reasons. It's an opportunity for us to build that trust and engagement with the community. It's an opportunity to provide education about the different things that we do and, highlight the awesome things that our staff does all the time. There will be an opportunity for like a Q&A towards the very end where we'll actually, if anyone wants to submit questions before, like right now, Jason is going to be joining me for the one that's going to be on June 21st at noon. So any resident that wants to ask a question for Jason, there will be time for that. We will also answer questions as they come in during the Facebook Live event. And we just want to create an awesome experience for residents to be able to learn about what we do. And so we believe this is going to be a super positive thing. And this also aligns with my personal goal on the strategic plan to build that community trust and engagement. So I hope you all enjoy it. And then lastly, just by way of update, I appreciate Lynn mentioning this to me today, that we continue to do the enforcement of the liquor licenses. There's going to be another 6 visits this week. And right now it's all about teaching them and helping them understand their responsibilities as liquor license holders. So that continues to occur. That's all I have.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you for all your hard work too, by the way. Next thing on our agenda is department reports. So I'll let whoever come down in whatever order you want. So we're going to start with the tallest one and work down.
Honorable Mayor and Council, the police department had 911 calls received. We had 503 for the month of May. Telephone calls in total received is 1,222. Dispatch calls for service is 620. Case follow-ups are 45, and then any other, which is 143. Those are bar checks, property watches, things like that. Dispatch fire-related calls, 23. We'll take care of that for Blaine since he's not here today. And dispatched ambulance calls was 46. Animal-related calls was 88, and our code enforcement cases were 28. And public relations, we had Police Week celebration in May, and that included the coloring contest. We sent out coloring contest, our yearly tradition to all the elementary school kids, and it's voted on. We receive them back, and it's voted on. Then we give prizes for first, second, and third in each grade. So they were able to come to the open house and the flag ceremony and receive those. Lieutenant Frakes taught a drug recognition class for the Department of Corrections. We go in and actually teach them, assist in their teaching and instructions and drug recognition. Officers responded, and other responders, including the fire department, participated in the senior class escort through town for the seniors. Sergeant Greninger taught a driver's safety class to the Rollins High School students. And on a side note, Sergeant Greninger has been our school resource officer for the last 2 years. And in the school presentations for the teachers and awards banquet at the end of the year, he received the Williams Crystal Apple Award, a prestigious honor from the school district to their teachers. I spoke to Mike Campbell, superintendent, Corbin County School District #1, and it is his understanding that this is the first ever being handed out outside of the school district. So, very cool honor for Sergeant Greninger and all the work he's done with the school resource officers. So, and then we did the field day at the Rollins Elementary School for one of their last days at the school. And that was all I have for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you.
Honorable Mayor, City Council, a few updates. One is regarding the golf course. I don't know if you were aware that we had an issue with the batteries of the golf carts that were purchased, some current fiscal year, some the previous fiscal year. They weren't holding a full charge. We couldn't really get much more than 18 holes, and we had to swap them out, so it took a lot of staff time going up to the cart barn and replacing them. Ken, our mechanic out there, did a wonderful job getting CarQuest together, who we purchased the batteries, and getting the battery manufacturer together to have a Zoom meeting and get together. And the result was they're going to swap out with Trojan batteries, which is what we've used in the past. They cost more, but they're going to swap them out at no cost to the city. And furthermore, they were going to have them out in like 2 weeks. Well, I was told today that they should be in a couple of days. We don't know how many. So the only negative thing is the staff time to replace those batteries, but it's a really positive outcome for that situation. So now, like in the past, we can run 36 hours on one golf cart. So when we have tournaments coming up, we'll all be able to sleep at night. So that was very good news. A few updates on parks. Some of you probably noticed Tully Park is not looking its best. We had an issue with the RPZ, or the backflow preventer. We ordered parts, and like ordering anything this day and age right now, it's taking a long time. So while we're waiting on that, we've taken a few steps to try to make some improvements. Lane's not here tonight, but he and his fire crew went out there and basically conducted a training session with some of his newer firefighters and got some super important water down on Tully Park. And like 3 days later, I could already tell a difference. So we're going to do that again this week. They also went down to Depot Park. So Depot Park, similar situation, can't water yet this year, but that was because of the construction of the splash pad. So they had to shut the water to make all that happen while the subcontractor, I believe, was in there making modifications for the splash pad, they busted through some of our 3-inch main line that goes in for the irrigation. And we think they might have nicked the electrical wire because we couldn't get anything to run last week when we tried. But we do have a company that's been working on it the last couple of days, so we're hopeful that by the end of the week we can get that going, and then we have some ideas in place to really get the water going again, and some ways to get that to green up fast, because we do have some events, and it's a very popular park and a very popular part of town. So that's kind of a high priority for us right now to get that going. Fire department also offered to put some water down there again, so that's been awesome to have their help. See, tomorrow's the golf course advisory board meeting, and then the last thing I wanted to say is we held interviews for our park superintendent position. It's kind of been on hold for a while, figuring out our staff structure and what needs to be happening this summer. And I'm excited that we decided on offering the position to somebody who should start in about 2 weeks. So we're very excited about that. And to go a little bit more about this, we also have a recreation coordinator position available for somebody who resigned to move out of the area. And we have a green space or parks technician position available. And I just wanted to report that these positions have been open for like maybe 2 weeks, and within days of having it posted on our website, we had applicants coming in, and we're getting quality applicants coming in. And I want to kind of give a shout out to, I think, partially our strategic plan. Part of that is employee retention, which is so important for this city, and I've learned that from the history as well. But also Sean and Stephanie and Kim from HR and all the work that they do to get the word out there. But I think we're already seeing, hopefully, that transition to this is a place to work, because we're seeing it in not only getting the numbers, but the quality of applicants. So I'm super excited to get into the interview process with these new positions that are coming out. And so I thought I would share that information with the council as well. That's all I had, unless anybody has any questions.
Yeah, I got a couple on Tully Park, because that's the area I live, and I've received several phone calls about that. And then you said a backflow preventer. Could we borrow one from another community and then just return one? And then, is that a possibility to help that out?
That could be. My understanding is because there's different sizes, because we looked at borrowing among the city as well, and we didn't have one that was the same size, and it's just one. My understanding is one part on that is malfunctioned. Furthermore, nobody on our parks crew is certified to actually work on those, so we deferred to Public Works. They ordered the part right away, and we're waiting on that part. So that's something I can look into, although I'm fairly confident that part should be in by the end of the week. I think I got a report today. So, but that is a good idea to look at other communities if they have the same size that could swap out. Okay. And then also, moving forward, I would like to try to have a plan in place where we have those extra parts on a shelf somewhere inventoried, so we're not waiting. And this goes citywide, parks wide. We're moving that direction so that we're not waiting 2 weeks, 3 weeks to get an important part for any of our irrigation. When we have a leak at the cemetery, which we had happen, and we dig it up, we spend all that time, and then we see, the situation, and we don't have the part, so we have to get a plumbing fitting instead of an irrigation fitting that may not be really designed for the pressure that we have going through. We're trying to fix that so that we have things in stock, so we're not waiting on shipping moving forward.
And also, I guess with that, is this, I know that water line and all that was redone last year. Is this part of that problem?
This is,
and was done?
I believe this is, and I wasn't aware until probably a week and a half ago that there was issues last fall, but I just found out that actually last fall, Tully Park wasn't getting watered either, and then that issue was not resolved. So it's this, I'm hoping this is what the same issue that was happening last fall that didn't get resolved.
Thank you.
Anything else? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Sean.
Who's next? Anybody? Going once. Going twice. I guess we're done. All right, thanks. Next thing on the agenda is city council reports and direction to the city manager. I would just like to say, Sean, during this transitional period, it's going to be kind of tough on you. And if we can help in any way, shape or form, count us in. This is like I told you before, we built a pretty big buffet for us to eat off of this summer. We probably have more projects than ever in the history of the town. And we might not get them all done, but I like the fact that we're moving forward on so many of them. So don't get discouraged if we don't get them all done. There's no miracles.
Well, thank you for the support. Yeah, just your patience and understanding as we're transitioning there. It'll be a little bumpy for sure. So thanks for the support.
Yep, well, you got it.
We got seatbelts.
Anybody else?
Nothing tonight, Mr. Mayor.
Anybody else? All right, thank you. Next thing on our agenda is the reading of an ordinance amending the Rollins Municipal Code, section 1054-020. Vice Mayor Wells.
Move to approve second reading and waive the reading of ordinance amending Rollins Municipal Code, section 1054-020, amended. Okay.
Councilman Smith seconds it. So there's been a motion to approve on second reading and waive reading of ordinance amending Rollins Municipal Code, section 1054.020 amended. Any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is open. Online voting has not closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on our agenda is another ordinance. It's a second reading of ordinance amending our fencing. Councilman Smith.
I move to approve on second reading an ordinance amending Rollins Municipal Code, section 1940.050, fencing, hereby permitting the use of livestock fencing outside of an RA zone for tree, shrub, garden, and flower bed protection only, and waive reading of the ordinance.
Second. There's been a motion made and seconded to approve on second reading an ordinance amending Rollins Municipal Code, section 19.40.050, fencing, hereby permitting the use of livestock fencing outside of a RA zone for tree, shrub, garden, and flower bed protection only, and waive reading of the ordinance. Is there any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is open. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on the agenda is an ordinance, which is the third reading of the 2021-22 annual budget. Vice Mayor Wells.
Move to approve on third reading and waive the reading of the ordinance adopting the proposed fiscal year municipal annual budget 2021-2022 as presented.
Councilman Smith seconds it.
Second.
So there's a move to, there's been a motion made and seconded to approve on third reading and waive reading of the ordinance adopting the proposed fiscal year municipal annual budget 2021-2022 as presented. Any discussion? Councilman Smith?
I just wanted staff to know that I read the draft of the auditor's report, and I'm encouraged because what I found in the I'm going to say restricted funds, but that's the technical. My landfill is a certain kind
Enterprise.
of fund. Thank you. Enterprise funds. There's only 2 of them that had a negative balance, And I think as we go along, I was really encouraged to see that. So while this budget has loans to it and things like that, we'll straighten it out in July, but I was really happy to see that.
Yes, I would caution council to take that information carefully because it is not necessarily the correct data. And so I did want to speak as part of the budget is the audit, and it is still not complete. And so I did send him an email today with a copy to Sean and Amy. So we are still waiting for a final version. Part of the budget that I could not get until today, and I did get this morning, is the property tax or the ad valorem tax. And that did go up about $11,000 from the previous one. So we get that this morning, and so I have an accurate ordinance now that I can pass out to you. If you want to pass them along.
We have a friendly amendment on the floor to change that motion to as amended now that we have a new resolution before you.
I will do that.
And I will do that.
So I guess it's, unless you have any questions, that would be it.
Councilman Smith?
Yeah, on our screen, it says, due to state not providing numbers, the attached ordinance is only a draft. So this really, though, that's negated, and this replaces that comment, and this will be, we've already taken care of it by our friendly amendment.
That's correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, because everything prior to today was only an estimate, and now this is the figure from the county.
Okay. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Sean?
Yeah, just one comment. From the last time that we did the second budget reading, the only change from then is that I wanted to go ahead and have the administrative secretary 2 position approved today with the passing of this resolution. And then with the rest of the positions, we're have that as a hiring freeze for a little while.
Okay. Any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting has now opened. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on our agenda is approve payroll. Councilman Durst.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the accounts payable register for the period of May 28, 2021 to June 9, 2021 in the amount of $126,392.82.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the accounts payable register for the period of May 28, 2021 to June 9th, 2021 in the amount of $126,392.82. Is there any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is open. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is approval of the payroll. Vice Mayor Wells.
I move to approve the May 23rd, 2021 through June 5th, 2021 payroll register for $245,475.70.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the May 23rd, 2021 through June 5th, 2021 payroll register for the amount of $245,475.76. Is there any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is now open. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you very much. The next thing on our agenda is to approve the July 4th fireworks display. Councilman Smith?
I move to approve and authorize the Rollins Fire Department to proceed with the fireworks display for the Independence Day celebration on July 4th, 2021, in accordance with the City of Rollins Municipal Code 9.32040C.
Second. There's been a motion made and seconded to approve and authorize the Rollins Fire Department to proceed with the fireworks display for the Independence Day celebration on July 4th, 2021, in accordance with the City of Rollins Municipal Code 9.32.040C. Is there any further discussion? Amy?
Honorable Council and Mayor, I'm pleased to present this on behalf of Fire Chief Schumacher. Early settlers brought their love of fireworks with them to the New World, and fireworks were part of that very first Independence Day. It is with great pride and tradition that the Rollins Fire Department continues that tradition, subject only to cancellation if there is a burn ban in effect at that time.
Well, we do appreciate them all the work setting it up, and we have one of the best fireworks displays really anywhere in town this size for sure. Any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is now open. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on the agenda is to look at a bid award on a 2021 street rehab project. Danielle? Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry. Vice Mayor Wells?
I move to award the 2021 street rehab project to STC Construction in the amount of $851,439 as the lowest responsive bidder.
Do I hear a second? There's been a motion made and seconded to award the 2021 street rehab project to STC Construction in the amount of $851,439 as the lowest responsive bidder. Discussion, Danielle?
Honorable Mayor and City Council, staff did review the bids. We received 3 bids total. STC was the lowest responsive bidder, lowest in general as well. So we are recommending that it be awarded to them. We did request $1 million in this upcoming capital fiscal year for capital budget. So it did come in under $148,561. I also do want to notate that STC is the same contractor that was awarded the 2020 rebuild and mill and overlay project. So staff is not planning to give them a notice to proceed on this until those are completed, and then they would kick off this project. But if you have any questions, I will try to answer them.
Councilman Smith?
Yeah, I'm a little bit curious. This bid is somewhere around 200 some thousand less than the others, the highest one. Is there anything in that bid that you could point to that would say why?
So in the, on the agenda item listed the range, so the lowest to the highest. The second bidder, Kilgore, was actually, I think it was $6,000 some to, yeah, so those two were pretty close, and then the other bid was a little bit higher, which is typical in most of our street bidding.
Would that be state, while STC is already here, then the other people probably had to stage and bring everything in, and they're not here?
I do know that STC lowered their price from last year in an effort to be very competitive because they enjoy working for Rollins. And then I do know that Kilgore, they priced really well too because they were trying to really break into the Rollins market. They were the ones awarded the Walnut Street though.
Okay. Thank you, Danielle.
Yes.
Any more questions or discussion? Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
Would you open online voting, please?
Online voting is now open. Online voting has not closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes,
I'm so sorry. Before we, can I have a 2-minute break?
I'm gonna call a 10-minute recess.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
43.
I would even allow you to go and just vote yes on the next issue if you want.
That's all right.
How are you here? Oh, I'm trying to get your wastewater treatment. No, man. No, is that correct? That's what I thought too. But we also get kind of some returns. So that's part of it too. Irrigation system. So you come to sewage, yeah.
Some accessible.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how there's a eco structure to them.
Right.
When that gets upset, then
Yeah.
they have them. So I would tell them about that.
And I saw her, and she had it.
Yeah.
Something.
Get it going. You know,
Yes,
electronic, you got
Change, voted for it. So it's- I just changed it.
pulled out some bed sheets today. We can make tablets. I got last time.
Everyone just thinks that's the point to bring something.
Background check.
So that was good for you.
It's just, yeah, and then they have a capture
So
flow.
you gave them the heads up.
And I'm gonna recommend. But you see, my, see, they have a muffin, it's called a grinder in there. They think it's the wrong equipment. The way they're operating is wrong. So your board agrees, and I don't know why they can't hire someone to do that. I have to do it because they need to take care of this. Well, they need a float. They need a float operated bar screen in there. It looks like a bunch of teeth that lift up with a chain. You know, that goes over the rig and pulls the trash off.
We had down our irrigation ditches that flow of the ditch, power.
Yeah.
That would throw the hay.
This would, right, and it just lifts it out, is all it does. So this one is to float operated, so it stays immobile until it gets it back on, and then you got a difference between.
I'm glad that worked out for you, Jason.
And then it just needs a little bit. So it drips and dries, you know, this, they have something that runs continuously. I think that's part of the problem. But I gotta go look at the structure, so I should have my test out, check in a week or so. And yeah, take a look. I don't want
All right. Good, how are you? How's your job? Cooler. Summer. Enjoy the 2 months. I know. I actually suspect I should have been longer, but it's so hot right now. I just. Unique. I agree. I definitely agree. It's gonna be a busy wildfire season too. That's true. Did they get the There's nothing out, but there's nothing that they need to grow. Well. It's smaller. Right. I think the Forest Service here will probably implement fire restrictions by the end of this week, stage 1. The others still not do. Not here in Hardin County, but
Yeah, I think, I just saw the BLM in Campbell County and elsewhere.
No, she's done.
Here we haven't yet with the BLM. But it's good. Yeah. Crazy here.
My son lived in Florida, and he said the temperature here, I go, Mom, you may as well come here, it's cooler here.
Oh goodness, in Florida. Oh my goodness. He just sent me a text saying, they're all time.
I'm sorry, everybody, but you saved a life. That's all I'm going to say.
Good, glad we could do that.
You know, 10 minutes for a life. Seems good, right?
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
We didn't even need 10 minutes, right?
No, I definitely didn't need 10 minutes. Needed something. So I was just sitting there looking. Yeah.
I keep telling them that it's, you know, stay inside during the summer, we stay inside. It's just fun, right?
I know, right?
And then, on Saturday.
That's great.
My God.
I was trying to 30 minutes, yeah. I don't know how you bring it up. I don't, I can't believe, I was literally, I just put down my stuff to go get up and leave when Erin asked for a break. No, I didn't even turn off my recorder.
There's still one down.
Yeah, I mean, I paused it after I came back in, but there was no way.
Come. They have a carbon they were just.
10, yes.
It's done. Is it exciting?
I have it ready to run today. I don't think it's a Jim Air, but I think Jim Air.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, which I actually sent him for Monday, so I think. You know.
There you go. Good.
Oh. I'm trying to we're gonna try it.
No, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's
You know,
sort
going
of.
around.
Oh, no, I don't think it's Facebook, right?
Was that PTSD thing that you had in flashback?
I don't think that he did it.
That's what it is.
Or is that sort of?
How's Somerville?
Yeah, but you're so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll just be, oh, got it all. All this matter.
I'm sure. And I didn't have time yesterday.
You can, but it's not the greatest, you know.
But I think the rest of
All
it.
those options were removed.
Yep, and I also have a. And I just, that's my. So many interviews with sliders. So, but I haven't. I will. I'm pretty sure. Okay.
I don't know.
All right. No, and I think
Did you think there's some?
But I understand. Spike boards. Right? Like that's. Wow. Is that babysitting?
That's just a tidbit. But, okay, so are we ready to go again? I will call this meeting back to order and thank you for your patience, everybody. See, the next thing on our agenda is a resolution for creating a new position and eliminating another one, I guess. So, Councilman Durst?
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the resolution amending the 2021 to 2022 pay plan and authorizing the elimination of one FTE Public Works Utility System Superintendent and the creation of one Administrative Secretary 2 position to the 2020-2021 fiscal year.
Do I hear a second? Councilman Gardner seconds it. Sorry, so there's been a motion made and seconded to approve the resolution amending the 2021-2022 pay plan and authorizing the elimination of one FTE Public Works Utility System Superintendent and the creation of one Administrative Secretary 2 position to the 2020-2021 fiscal year. Any discussion? Stephanie?
So, Honorable Mayor and Council, Amy just corrected, there is a mistake on there, so if we could do a friendly amendment to the very bottom, the date is incorrect. It should be 2021 to 2022.
Oh, I should have caught
So I would make the friendly amendment.
Errol? Okay.
So, Honorable Mayor and Council, this is just an amendment talking about adding the administrative assistant position for the Public Works area. This position would allow for cross-training and allow for a lot more public help from throughout our community to be able to access the public, all the tons of things that Public Works does and community development. Right now, we do have an administrative assistant in the community development area, but we do not have one in Public Works. And they really, we went through the projects tonight. Danielle went through our list that went on forever. They really could use some administrative help there to be able to do what they need to do to help the community.
Are you saying we can't get things done without people in place to do that?
We need people.
That's just
Yes, absolutely.
Councilman Smith?
I just wanted to ask, and I think I know the answer, but I want to hear it from you folks. Full-time equivalency for Public Works Utility System Superintendent will be eliminated, and then we would replace that, or not replace it, but we would authorize the Secretary 2 position. Now, as I understand, these are enterprise funds, and the Administrative Secretary can be, the funding for that position can be taken out of the enterprise funds, and therefore it is not going to hit the administrative funds. Okay. All right. Thank you for that.
Any further discussion? Thank you, Stephanie. Please open online voting.
Online voting is now open. Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on the agenda is a special use permit. For 21-03-01 application to allow for temporary use of retail liquor store located at 1111 Daly Street. Do I have a motion? Councilman Durst.
Mr. Mayor, I move to postpone the approval of the special use permit 21-03-01 to the next regularly scheduled meeting.
I'll second that due to the applicant's not being.
So the motion's been made and seconded to postpone special use permit 21-0301 to our next scheduled meeting, which is July
6th, I believe.
July 6th is the next
6th.
meeting. Yes.
Is there any discussion? The only discussion I would have with that is, number one, let me ask this question. These applicants are aware that this was happening tonight. Is that correct, Amy?
Yes, staff has provided them with notice. Yes, written notice.
Has there been any response as to why they aren't here?
I reached out to their legal counsel this afternoon to see if he would be appearing by Zoom. We hadn't heard from him. He was going to reach out to his clients, but there was no response as of the workshop tonight.
The only comment I would make about postponing it is that we have something on the next agenda that is interrelated to this, and I don't know if it would be too clumsy or not. You decide, but.
I was concerned about that as well.
The council has 60 days from receipt of the certification from the Planning and Zoning Commission to make a determination on that special use permit. So it's up to you when that falls within the next 60 days. I believe it was received
May 19th, the date of that meeting.
That was the day it was approved. Danielle, do you know what date the certification was signed?
It was Monday of last week that the certification was signed. But the planning commission was May 19th.
And the ordinance says you have 60 days from receipt of the certification. So it would have been Monday of last week, even though it's dated for that date. It was presented to the council, the Planning and Zoning Commission on the 19th. They made a determination, but it was not certified to you until it was signed.
Vice Mayor Wells?
Amy, would you have a recommendation on when this should be postponed? Should they be in the same meeting or separate meetings?
They are two separate and distinct issues. I would be concerned for the general public that they would not be able to distinguish those two separate matters to come before the court, to come before the governing body, even though the governing body has full understanding that they're two separate issues. I would defer or recommend that they be on alternate days, just to keep that.
So if we move this to the second meeting in July, we would still be within our 60-day window.
Absolutely.
I would move to amend the motion to change it to the second meeting in July.
Just a sec. We have the signed document or signed certificate from the Community Development Department. And on the date that it shows at the bottom, it says approve this date, the 19th day of May, as signed by Patty Hayes. So would that be the certificate that we're talking about?
That is the certification, yes.
Okay, so it'd be May 19th is the
60 days from now.
Yeah. Just wanted to clear up the initial date.
Councilman Smith?
Amy,
Yes.
I would have, and I'm not speaking for or against the motion, but I do have a concern that they're continuing to operate without a special use permit or permit in that area. So I guess we're just, we don't do anything with this tonight, then that just continues on.
Yes, we have not taken any action on the zoning component until a determination is made on this temporary special use permit. And if I can, section 2.20130 states, any and all recommendations of the Planning and Zoning Commission shall be submitted in writing to the City Council for approval or disapproval. Such actions by the City Council must be by a recorded vote of the majority of the council. Failure of the City Council to act within 60 days from and after the date of the official submission of the recommendation of the Planning and Zoning Commission shall be deemed as approval. So the key is submission to you. It was reviewed and approved on the 19th. However, the date is when it was submitted to you. You have 60 days from that date.
Do we know what that date is?
I would defer to staff when it was submitted officially to the
Submitted? So that's the word we need to worry about is submitted? Okay.
We're
still within that bounds, aren't we?
Even if you go with the earlier date, the earliest date would have been that May 19th date. So if you use that as your first date, even though we know it was not submitted on that day, we have 60 days for you to respond to it.
So my amendment died for lack of second. So we're back to the main motion.
Oh, I would second your motion because you want to go to the second meeting, correct?
I guess I was willing to put it a friendly amendment on my original to move that.
Go ahead.
Is what I thought.
That's what I thought. That would work.
And I would second the friendly.
I'll remove my second.
Which, well, as long as you still second. Or was it you?
It was me.
Oh, sorry.
So then there's been a friendly amendment to change, to postpone this till the second meeting in July, is what the motion is. Correct?
Yes, I'm just counting the days to make sure we hit our 60.
Councilman Weisenberg?
I would agree. I would like them to be here, to be able to answer questions. I do believe that we need to move forward. If they don't show up at that next day, I want to be able to move forward, and whatever happens at that date, happens at that date, just so they know, and the general public knows also, you know, this is a temporary special use permit, but we also need to just make everybody aware through the public of just special use permits, period, you know, and that's one reason I want to be able to talk to them and have them answer questions.
Councilman Durst?
Can we, again, I'm just concerned about the date, because if we go May 19th, we will not make 60 days till July 20th. There's 60 days will expire prior to July 20th, which is our current proposal. So I guess I guess I just think we need to lock down what our actual date is to know for sure, because if it's May 19th, we cannot wait that long. July 20th will not work. We will have exceeded, we'll be at like 61, 62 days.
Well, and
so that's
honestly, if this was me and I was on the other side, I'd be here.
Well, I agree.
I would be here. And so I personally have a tough time postponing it to start with.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I'm probably not going to be positive on that aspect, because they were given the chance to be here. Their attorney knew they were supposed to be here. They're not here. So for us to stay in agony and continue this saga, they're not here. Anyway, that's what I got to say.
I'm very comfortable with addressing it tonight. That's fine.
Well, then
I would encourage everybody to vote no.
we would have to vote no on the current motion, but
the current motion is what now? To postpone till when?
Till July, I just minimize it, July 20th, which would just be the second meeting in July.
And that will not meet
July
our
12th.
minimum 60 days.
If May 19th is our date,
I just confirmed, the chairman of the Planning and Zoning Commission signed the certification on Monday, June 7th, so last Monday.
that is our date of, okay.
So we're within 60 days then.
So the question, I guess, really, what the question at hand now is, do we want to postpone it until the second meeting in July? Or do we vote no on the amendment and just handle it tonight?
Correct.
So I guess I would just let everybody speak to their thoughts. I'm comfortable.
So, we open online voting.
So the motion is for postponing. That's
Correct.
what you guys are voting. Okay, I just want to make sure that everybody is set.
Correct.
Second meeting, correct?
To the second meeting in July.
Yes, online voting is now open. Online voting has now closed. There was 3 yeas and 4 nays. The 3 yeas was Councilmember Linda Smith, Vice Mayor Jacqueline Wells, and Councilmember Chris Weisenberg. The 4 nays were Councilmember Aaron Durst, Councilmember Davari Martinez, Mayor Terry Wycombe, and Councilmember Daryl Gardner.
Okay, thank you.
So now we're back to the original.
Original motion? Yes. Original motion.
Go ahead.
Vice Mayor Wells.
Move to approve the recommendation made by the Planning and Zoning Commission to allow for a temporary use of retail liquor stored conditionally, that the temporary use be for not more than 12 months, that the applicant could apply for a renewal not to exceed 2 total renewals, and subject to compliance with local, state, and federal rules and regulations.
I'd like to second that for purpose of discussion.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the recommendation made by the Planning and Zoning Commission to allow for a temporary use of a retail store conditionally, that the temporary use be for not more than 12 months, that the applicant can apply for a renewal not to exceed 2 total renewals, and subject to compliance with local, state, and federal rules and regulations. Any discussion? Councilman Weisenberg?
So I was a part of the Planning and Zoning Commission on this, and I will say this was not a unanimous decision on that board. I believe it was 3-2, if I'm not mistaken. Be honest, I was one of the nays on that, and the reason I was a nay is because I don't believe that there should be any renewals on this, and the reason is you know, you gain residency in a permanent resident at 12 months. Okay, so I feel that if you're asking for renewals after 12 months, then it's more of a permanent place. So that's my stance on that. And I still to this day believe that I would agree if there was no renewals on that for 12 months, you know. Just I believe everything else could work itself out at that point for the temporary special use permit. I also believe that everything has to fall within compliance, you know, of all the checks of local, state, federal guidelines. If there's any violations on of anything of sort dealing with that special use permit or the use of that special use permit, I would believe that should be revoked immediately too.
Any further discussion? Councilman Durst?
I actually I would like to second, I agree. I have some real concerns with the 3-year renewal. I mean, I'm questioning how temporary, renewing it 3 years, 1 year or something. So is it going to be parked? Is it going to be open? I'm wondering if it's defeating the entire purpose of what it's doing. My other concern is that I know that there is the crisis center, the Cathedral home there, and I know the trailer park across the street. My understanding is that the letters went out to the property owners, not necessarily the tenants or the people actually living there. And I have some concerns on how that plays out and if we're really hitting the intent of what we're doing. If there's 200 people in that trailer park, and the owner says yes, but none of the people actually living there have any say so. The guy lives in Arizona or wherever. I mean, I'm just, with the Cathedral home, and that's great. I get where the county's coming from, not wanting to impede things, but, they just signed off on it. Well, is that really in the best interest of what the city of Rawlins is building as far as the community goes?
I have a concern that in the past, we had a situation where we had an area that people were applying for since we've been here that did not comply. And they were all the way through the process, and we had to stop right there and say no. This is not an allowed use in that zoning, in that industrial zoning. It's not an allowed use. It's actually, people have applied for liquor licenses in the past and were denied because they're of this zoning. I also agree with the process. A liquor establishment across the street from a crisis center cannot be a good idea. I don't know how many people live in that trailer park, but owning a business across the street from that for all those years, this building I owned, there's lots of children. And there's a reason we disallow certain things in certain areas, and we've always disallowed retail liquor license in the industrial area. I think this is spot zoning. I think we'd be doing the wrong thing. I really do. I think it's, we're asking for trouble. When the license gets parked, this is what I've been told, about the average bar in town does something around $300,000 worth of business a year. The sales tax alone is $18,000. When they park that, the sales tax is zero. One of the ordinances is that a liquor store should be there should be some advantage to the community to have it. And I just don't see that happening in this case. I think they parked it for 10 months before. I think that the rules are they can park it for a year. I'd let them park it for 2 more months, but then something needs to happen here. What are we doing here? Councilman Smith?
Mayor, I would like to refer to the planning and zoning certifications, and it comes out, I believe, I could be wrong with this, but A through G, I think, is some of the criteria under which they work from state statutes. I know the Board of Adjustments does, but there isn't anything in here. The use is public need, and they said for economic development. They did note that Councilman Weisenberg said that wasn't presented as an economic development, but they also said temporary use is allowed in industrial zones. The use will not be determined or detrimental due to no alteration to the existing building. The use will not impact traffic, noise, smoke, fumes, glare, odors, or accumulations of scrap material, existing and no additional impacts. Existing and currently served by public infrastructure on special land uses, and then the proposed special land complies with all applicable specific standards required in this ordinance. And I think, they had a split vote, but I thought it was 4-2, but I don't know that for a fact. But I think that they have discussed it thoroughly, and I would like to take the recommendation of our planning and zoning, because I think I'm going to say they fought it through, or they thought it through. And if But I don't have a problem if you want to remove the 2 additional renewals, but I do feel that they should get a permit tonight, and we take the recommendation of the planning commission.
Councilman Weisenberg?
If I'm not mistaken, and maybe staff could kind of speak to this too, I think the renewal process is actually would entail them going and coming back in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission as a new special use permit also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because something to do with there's no renewals on it or something.
So
Right.
municipal code does not outline a specific process for a renewal. So that would be.
So they would have to come back
Correct.
and do the same process.
Yeah, I mean, that would be the only way because code doesn't allow for them to do any other form of a renewal. Now, unless that's changed or, council does something different, but the way municipal code is written now, it'd be an application.
Thank you.
And I'm comfortable with that.
Thank you. I want to make it clear that I hear what you say, Aaron. The crisis center and people living across the street from them. But I think when they sent these out, they met the letter of our ordinance. They met the
Percentage.
language, and intent of that ordinance, even though it just may have gone to the property owner. So here again, we have an ordinance that they're trying to follow, but maybe we should take a look at that down the line.
So-
But anyway, that's where I'm coming from, but I hear you.
So when it talks about who needs to be notified, Amy, this is for you. When it talks about who should and should not be notified, aren't house trailers real property, and shouldn't they have been notified?
So they would fall under personal property. They would title, they would not be considered real property unless the property is permanently affixed to the real property, meaning a trailer that is a HUD home or something with the foundation, and then all temporary transportation axles and everything else, or however they bring it in, is removed. Then it would become part and parcel with the real property. But because it's personal property matter, and the ordinance specifically only identifies the property ownership, that's what was done in this matter. Moving forward, that is something that this council can undertake to provide more notice if you want, and identify personal property, or those with leasehold interests or whatever this council feels is appropriate. We can definitely look at that and provide you another ordinance for you.
Sure. Councilman Weisenberg?
Yes, I want to make sure everybody understands. I had the same issue with that. I even stated, quoted, I felt you were skirting the system at that point in time. They did meet every bit of the 50%, barely, but 50%. And upon talking to a fellow planning and zoning board member there, it was the reason that it is like that is it's totally understandable. It's for retaliation type purposes from someone renting or leasing that property from the real owner and getting into that kind of matter. But I did ask that staff did look into that, further to allow us to have some kind of change or have some more accountability measures or say on their part. As far as I don't know how that could look, if we could make it mandatory for them to post a certain size sign at the place that someone is requesting a temporary special use permit or a special use permit. We'd have to look into that at that point in time, but I did have that concern also.
Any further discussion?
I guess, I don't, I'm not sure where this becomes an advantage to break this particular ordinance and allow I mean, because this is going against, it's bucking the system, so to speak, right? We're asking for permission to go outside of the norm. And I disagree with this statement that substantially, there'll be no, shall not involve substantially impact, such as traffic, noise, odors, or whatever. I mean, maybe there's not going to be a pile of scrap metal, but the idea that it's not going to significantly increase traffic on that road, I don't buy that. And I'm questioning what value are we putting forward by allowing this? It's kind of, I mean, what do we get for breaking the rules, if you will? That's I guess kind of my thoughts.
I'm sorry, Mayor, may I ask? Aaron, I'm not clear what rule's being broken.
Well, we're asking, in other words, this is not zoned for this particular use. So what are we gaining by putting alcohol in a non-conforming zone? What are we gaining?
So, but if we take that logic, then every single temporary permit that we issue then would not be in the right zone. And therefore affect all the.
And then the question is, what justification do you have to be in that zone where you don't belong?
It's allowed under the law.
Well, it's allowed for us to make the decision to allow them to operate in a place that our planning and zoning says they shouldn't be operating.
And I think that might have been some historical issues, is there has just been a willy-nilly, let people do what they want, we can't impede anything. And so sort of what we get is a lot of really weird zoned areas. We have a lot of really weird property. I mean,
Vice Mayor Wells?
My argument to that, Aaron, would be that it is temporary. It is temporary. There is a deadline on it. It's just to allow, in this particular case, them to be able to hold the liquor license temporarily while they can take.
No, and I get that.
So that's why they have the special use permit.
So it's a parked now?
I know, which I believe the city only has one parked liquor license.
So they're not parked?
No.
And they're operating in a place they're not allowed to operate yet?
So this is allowed under a temporary special use permit according to the ordinance.
If we pass it.
I'm just saying it's allowed, it's an allowable use.
Right, no,
under
I
our
get that.
ordinance.
Just because it is allowed doesn't mean you have to allow it.
No, correct, right? I just want to clarify that it is allowed under our ordinance.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. My understanding is this is be the first temporary use permit they've applied for, correct? It wasn't applied for last July when they opened business.
Correct.
So I would be okay with the temporary use permit for 1 year, starting back date to July when they got it, giving them until this July without renewal. If we were to give a temporary use in an area like that, that would be, I would say, 1 year, and that would be the max for temporary use.
And
starting at the
what
date.
would back that up a little bit is I think they can park it for a year. And really, they were parked for 10 months, which means they have 2 months or so left. So, I'm going to vote no unless it's 2 months. I'm just telling you right up front. If we can allow them 2 months of using of that, but they had it parked for 10 months already. They're asking to park it. It's what they're asking to do. You can call it whatever you want, but if that's the case, then 2 months would be the maximum I would go for.
So it's parked for 10 months, then unparked, and it's been unparked for
Since January. Technically since January.
I thought it was since.
And the applicant at Planning and Zoning did indicate that they're open for 1 to 5, was it?
I can't believe, I mean, I can't
1 to
remember
5.
the
1 to 5,
exact hours, but they are open, what, Monday through Friday? or
I'm
something?
pretty sure they said Monday
One-
through Friday,
yeah,
1
so-
to 5.
So they are, the temporary special use applicant is currently in operation there.
Well,
I guess my question, would be to Amy for some legal advice on that, on the recommendation of, how Councilman Gardner, asked, or said, backdating that, is that legal to do, or moving forward, would it have to be from current date now?
So moving forward, you could take that into account, that time limit. I think what he's trying, the end result is that he wants to see that, so that retail liquor license not be in operation at that site after that July,
Yeah,
the anniversary of that July date. So
This
it
year.
would be up into including that July date where they became, and I believe it was
it's around
the
the first or
first
second.
or second of
For-
July.
Yes, it was the 2nd of July of 2020.
So the temporary use of permit would expire this July on the 1st or 2nd.
I'm comfortable with just, with 12 months from today. You know, honestly, that's, was a recommendation from the planning and zoning, even though it was not a unanimous decision. I'm still comfortable with, going with the recommendation without the renewals.
So it'd be 1 year?
1 year.
From this date.
From this date, yes, ma'am. That's what I would be comfortable with.
Well,
Well, but we have, so I'm not, because we have one on the table now.
Yeah.
we do, but I can amend it.
Oh, is it, okay, I was gonna say, it's yours, or I didn't.
Yeah, it could be amended.
Oh, well, no, I can amend your motion.
Oh, okay, you can't.
Yes, I can. But that'll, if the mayor will allow me to do it. Or you can make a friendly amendment, I don't care.
What were you doing?
I was just going to amend it to grant it for 1 year from the state
Without the next one.
without renewals.
I'll make a friendly motion to delete the renewals.
Who's the?
Cheryl, second. I'll second it.
so there's been a friendly amendment made to grant this temporary use permit without the 2 extensions is what the motion is at the moment. Is there any further discussion?
Mayor, I've been informed since I did go up that you should please let the public know what the message I gave you.
Okay, well, there was a note handed to me that said on Facebook, which we're not operating on Facebook, we're in city council chambers, so kind of aggravating, that there was a message from Andrea Shepherd saying she was told not to attend. My question is to her then, is who told her not to attend?
And I'm not saying we need to wait on that. I was just notified that it's improper for us to have like a side conversation.
Yeah, not a problem, and I don't mind sharing this with people too. My question would be is, why wouldn't you attend? We have questions.
What I would like to say, I guess if you'll let me.
Of course I'll let
Sorry.
you. When have I ever not?
I know, thank you, Mayor. What I would say, that's a side issue at this time, and we're on the motion, and we've already we've amended it to go to 1 year temporary permit, and I think that's what we're looking at. And then we can address that somewhere else, just to move this along.
All right. Any further discussion?
Can I just get clarification on the motion? So the motion is just for 12 months and you're removing the 2 extra renewals. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
I just want to make sure I have the motion corrected.
it's still subject to the compliance with local, state, and federal rules and regulations, correct?
That's
In there?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, but you're only removing the 2 extra, correct? Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay,
Sounds right.
okay, so hold on 1 second.
And that is because we don't have any language in the statute as to renewals, correct?
Yes, that
That's
is.
right, okay, thank you. Want to make that right in the minutes?
Okay. Right? Okay. Okay, so would you like online voting open?
Please.
Okay, online voting is open. Okay, online voting has now closed. There was 3 yeas. Councilmember Linda Smith, Vice Mayor Jacqueline Wells, and Councilmember Chris Weisenberg. There were 3 nays. Councilmember Aaron Durst, Mayor Terry Wycombe, and Councilmember Darrell Gardner, and 1 abstain was Dabari Martinez.
On what grounds, I wonder? Can you share with us, Dabari, what grounds you're abstaining?
Is he there? He is there.
Davari, can you still hear us?
Dabari, can you hear us? I didn't mean to scare everybody. I saw you jump. I see her jump about me.
Well, he heard online voting was open, so he did vote. I don't know.
I can't imagine what his grounds for abstaining is. Is he is related to these people?
I think he has a.
It fails.
Fails.
Nobody to think here.
That's your.
That's my, okay, so the motion fails.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess it fails. So they don't have special use permit, correct?
So they will not be able to operate down there now.
Well, they don't have one anyway. All right, so the next thing on the agenda is selecting voting delegates for the 2021 Lamb Summer Convention from July 14th until July 16th. See. I would entertain a motion, and then we can discuss it. Vice Mayor Wells.
Just for clarification, please, it's you, sorry, Mayor.
And Chris. Yeah.
Mayor, I'd like to appoint Terry Wycombe as voting delegate and Mari Martinez as alternate voting delegate representing the city of Rawlins, Wyoming at the 2021 Lamb Summer Conference business meeting to be held on July 15th, 2021 in Cheyenne, Wyoming.
Second.
Been a motion made and a seconded to appoint myself, Terry Wycombe, as voting delegate and Dabari Martinez as alternate voting delegate representing the city of Rawlins, Wyoming at the 2021 WHAM Summer Conference business meeting to be held on July 15th, 2021 in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Is there any discussion? Councilman Weisenberg?
Was there a conversation earlier, when you discussed about, the voting delegate? I believe Councilman Martinez had asked about that, and I thought, was that interfering with your traveling?
No, what the deal there was is Dabari doesn't want to stay for the very last day. And that's where the voting takes
Okay.
place. But he did want to be on the resolution committee.
Okay.
And,
Specifically, yeah, that committee.
and that's,
That's right.
and, but he specifically didn't want to stay on the last day because it's really super boring to sit and vote. And I don't really want to either, other than it'll give me a chance to network. And I'll tell you the other thing, when we get there, I'm going to try, and I would really appreciate your support to get on the Legislative Leadership Committee. And what that is it's a group of people that work for WHAM, and they monitor all the bills that are going through the legislature, and to get a better understanding. And then it will also involve me traveling to Cheyenne to testify on behalf of the cities and whatnot. So that's a whole nother thing. But when it gets to that, I would appreciate you guys that are going to help support me in that role. Has nothing to do with this, but.
Oh, sorry.
Do we need to have Dabari as part of the motion to appoint to the resolution committee, or did we already do that?
I think we did that at the last meeting. The way this was explained to me was that we did it informally.
Yes.
But WHAM is asking that the voting people be formally.
Yes.
Voting delegates.
Right. This is doing it right, if that makes sense.
Honorable Mayor, I do believe the resolution committee is actually appointed by WHAM themselves. This is simply voting delegates to represent the city of Rawlins at the end of the conclusion during the business meeting. But if Councilmember Martinez is interested in being appointed to the resolution committee for WHAM, he would need to contact WHAM and seek that appointment procedure.
And I think I believe he has. I'll make sure that he does, because it's important that somebody from Rawlins be on that. And he's been on it for ever, and it's one role he should be on. He knows. Councilman Weisenberg?
I mean, I'm in the same boat as not wanting or being able to really stick around at that meeting also, but I just want to make sure that he is able to stick around before appointing him as an alternate, just in case. Is that?
Well, I think if I were sick or something, he would.
He
It's just he don't want to.
Okay.
Yeah, he just don't want to.
I just want to make sure, yeah.
And if you stick around on that day, you'll see why you don't want to. It's horribly boring. But it's important, but it's boring, okay?
And I think he told me he would if he needed to, so.
Yeah.
That's
No big deal. I'm sorry.
Any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is now open.
Oh, say God, bless you, Billy.
Impeachable.
Old habits are hard to pray for.
So now we're going to
Did I vote?
Yes,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
you're staring at me. I thought maybe I didn't vote.
I'm so sorry. Online voting has now closed. The motion carries with 7 yeas, so Dabari did vote.
Okay, good.
So he did vote on this. Okay?
All right.
Real fast, I'd just like to say thank you to all you guys who get to go. Fortunately, I just can't make it work, so I know it's a lot, so thank you. That's having 4 people there is pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll
I think
be
that's
awesome.
great representation, and thank you.
Well, you learn a lot, Adam.
Absolutely.
You do.
Yeah.
I love going, but I
They're
just
fun.
can't.
All right, next thing on the agenda is what we've all been waiting for, adjournment. I adjourn. And July 6th, 2021 council meeting is our next council meeting. Thank you all for coming.
Ah, blah, 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 blah.